Hi, it is the year 2005 in 2025. I'm Chris, I'm Vangelus, and I'm hosting the stream today. We're news diving. I hope that you all watched the panel we did. It's in the playlist too, but today we're news diving. I can even turn this on because Aaron is on the line.
Hi, news diving.
Aaron, I have you set at 4.4. Okay. Everyone, let me know if Aaron is okay at negative 4.4 dB, mostly because he was spiking red. If it needs to be louder, it can go a little bit louder, but you gotta let me know.
I could just be louder anyway, but that'd be probably give me the throat hell that you just got out of. Yeah,
it's still it's getting better, but now there's all this residual damage that keeps like floating in and out. Oh, you were spiking red because of communism. So I've been informed. Thank you, Tonbot. I'm going to scroll this up a little bit. Just call out hello to our early chatters: No, Collector K9, Mischievous Turtle, Corito Prime, Tombot, and then once we got going, I believe we got Long Was Here, Tyler Nutter, Griff. I scrolled. Axsmith is in the chat. again. Eve Tronia, Chris
What a
Muse,
band guy.
Scorp, Ilker Sunmez, Delta Tryon, Face Forward, and Shia, and Juan Hernandez. I think I caught everybody. Hello. It is the year 2005. Aaron, do you remember the year 2005?
Yes.
Do you remember when, like, that one year it was just so cool that, like, we lined up with our movie that we always watched?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the year after that when we were like, wait a second?
2006 and the cool stuff didn't happen.
Yeah, 2006 was actually, I think, the dark year. Because that's when we were like, wait a second. It all keeps going.
So always the fun with sci-fi when people and like making a sci-fi show pick a year that is within a human lifespan of said sci-fi show to show off stuff that is very sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the year 2037. The laser mice from Venus have taken over everything and developed all of this stuff. You're like, nah, road still ain't fixed. You ain't convincing me of nothing.
It turns out infrastructure mattered, and the writers were not 100% on board with infrastructure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in
Flying
2005,
cars and Back to the Future Part 2. It's like,
yeah,
man, you ever driven on a two-dimensional road? People only left, right, forward, and back from you. Imagine somebody coming from above you or below you.
I remember in 2005, one of the conversations was, don't worry, Back to the Future 2 is still 10 years away, so we're all fine.
Yeah.
Also in 2005, I remember we all had our moment where we were like, does anyone have a white and blue jumpsuit? Does anyone want to wear a white and blue jumpsuit? No, that's not cool. I want to look like the guy from Saw. But yeah, we are news diving the year 2005. If anyone's here for their first time, welcome. If anyone's here because you saw a panel at TFCon, that's even cooler. I think that might be more of a VOD watcher thing, though. And for those who don't know, Aaron and I, we are going to go through some of the old news of the Transformers fandom. We are basing our scrolling out of TFW 2005 because that's where Aaron and I grew up in the fandom. So that's where all of our memories are. I don't think we are due to run into another major database gap, but if we do, we now have a process, thanks to all of you lovely folks in the audience. Other than that, I think we are starting to get farther and farther away from the era of statues everywhere. I say knocking on wood. But if we still are in that era, that does tend to be news that we kind of glaze past, along with magazine scans, because those still tend to not exist when we see the links, and air dates, unless it's kind of funny, we do kind of glaze past some of those. There are some news items we do tend to skip past now for the sake of time, so if you notice that happening, if there's one you really want to know about, like, you know, feel free to call it out, but have a good reason, because, like, we can tell. We've got that we've got that old moderator sense still, so we can tell if you're
we
being
do
a
also
troublemaker.
have Eve Tronia giving us the born in 2005, so yes, we're pre-September. It is
Okay.
just now the year 2005, so
We have not yet entered the era of Eve Tronia, so that is, but that's in the closer future. Please don't skip the screenshot galleries. The problem is most of them don't exist.
yeah.
So we try our best, but
This is what, YouTube still isn't a thing yet?
does not yet exist. It's too early for YouTube. Yeah, and YouTube would take another couple years to start actually getting used to that level. Yeah, we got no YouTube.
Actually, a quick check of Wikipedia says YouTube was founded on February 14th, 2005.
Well, we're in January.
Yeah.
Please don't skip the dead presidents. If we catch one, I'm so ready now. I will never again. Ronald Reagan won't get me again. Not after last time. Outside of because we know Eve Tronia did not yet exist. Quick check with the chat. Anyone else who did not yet exist in January 2005? No, not Reagan's back. Otherwise, I'm sure I know that we still have folks who were infants and toddlers, so hopefully this is still kind of fun for y'all. If you do have any questions, especially if you were not yet, able to use the internet at this point, and you have any questions, comments, please throw them out there. I find them really fun to catch, perspectives on what was still an existing community way back then. We're Transformers fans. Reagan is getting us every single day. I mean, you're not wrong. Tyler Nutter was 7 years old. Hell yeah.
Didn't exist yet.
All right, Chia also did not yet exist. We're not far from Gerald Ford. Okay, now, yeah, we got to get the presidential death tracker out now. That's morbid. 2005, I was using Gaia Online and DeviantArt. I forgot DeviantArt existed back then. Oh, wow. I'll take us to the, by the way, to the screen. This is what you'll be seeing for most of the stream. We did talk a little bit about January at the end of the last one, but that was sort of as a treat. That's mostly because Aaron found something that was very helpful for our panel presentation at TFCon LA.
Your shift over also lost me my byline.
Huh?
Your screen now has hidden my byline. It's the only reason I'm in it for these, man. I need some validation in life.
Oh! Boop. There you go. I got you.
There we go.
Hello, Blatrain. Do you like card bots? Yeah, we had a New Year's posting in 2005, during which the site admin, Tony Bacala, said, "I'm a bit tipsy," and proceeded to reveal Boombox. And I remember now, I'm remembering clearer now, last stream, we realized that most of these links don't work.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually hard to find the original Boombox imagery, because there's plenty of it, but it's not the original one. Let's make sure I've got this all lined up. Okay. So yeah, this was unveiling Boombox, the site mascot, designed by John Flores, aka King Starscream. There's also a video featuring all original music. Doesn't work. The site has a new look and new features.
This is also why the discussion of YouTube came up, because I'm like, oh man, that should be on YouTube.
Yeah,
but it ain't.
Yeah, that's the other part. Is whenever well, here's the thing though, a lot of YouTube from 05 and 06, etc., also still doesn't exist anymore, because that's before the Viacom Armageddon happened. So we're still going to be in for lots of link rot, I think. Yeah, there was the whole celebration because it is the year 2005. Finally, we spent half a decade waiting for this, because that's around about when most of this community had been very active. Maybe we'll catch some more Boombox along the way, but at least some new Energon Gestalt limbs were found, because Wreck-Gar found the latest batch of Stormcloud, Kickback, Terradive, and Windrazor. I believe, going by those names, this wasn't the rare wave, right? Like the final one?
No.
Okay.
Because that was like... shoot, I'm trying to remember what that wave was.
It had a tank in it.
It was... Yeah. That's like D4, A3, A4. So I think it was... Oh man, I forget those. I've got those combiners sitting out on... maybe I display it at the new display that now coming up on 3 years isn't done.
I mean, hey, I know that feeling.
Halfway. Yeah.
I live in a perpetual disaster, but that's mostly my brain. So, we make it work. But yeah, I also forgot one of them was called Kickback. It's pretty funny. And yeah, Jive,
heavy use of like, oh, we got to use this name.
Yeah, this is also when we were just calling them Gestalts all the time, because that was normalized off of the Usenet days. Blatrain, they were found in a Walmart in Chicago. The info relays really weren't too descriptive about it. Yeah, there wasn't like the very the credited photograph with receipt thing yet, because there weren't enough people to care.
And like in 2005, if you were doing that, you would have to have a point and shoot digital camera to take a picture of it. and then connect that to a computer, crank the side of it to get it to go into the computer.
Get it on your photo bucket.
Then feed it into Photo Bucket or something to then provide it versus just like click with your phone.
By the way, Tombot's saying Kickback was a tank, so...
Okay, that might have been it. Chris Muse, there wasn't a whole lot of GPS back then. As somebody that was a surveyor using survey-grade GPS at the time, commercial-grade GPS, you'd have like a TomTom all-in-one unit thing. If you had the really fancy car, you might have had something in it. Or you'd have like a laptop with an external GPS chip thing.
Also, Face mentioning, I forgot about that, usually if you had a point-and-shoot digital camera, you had to open a bespoke app to then access the photos because they were weird and scummy about that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Every camera company had their own proprietary data format and card format.
That's
so it wasn't just like you popped out an SD card. You had a compact flash, or you had whatever Sony's stick of gum things were.
Once upon a time, there was a pre-this era in the earlier 2000s. I remember earliest digital cameras, because we had one at home, you could just plug in and it would show up with a bunch of photos. But then as digital cameras got more consumerized, they started to coat them in proprietary hoo-ha. Along with, the Sony memory stick that lasted for a long time, the Sony memory stick. Also, Ruby saying, only just dawned on me, we're pre-smartphones. Yeah, we still haven't gotten to the smartphone era yet. We're getting closer, but we're not quite there yet. Also, that kind of like, that was I recall, a real big flip over part of the aughts, where like 1 year, smartphones, cool, those seem neat. Next year, yeah, of course we all have one. Valkai says, I think my first connected with Firewire or something. Yeah, we had a Firewire one, I remember. By the way, we have a 20th anniversary Optimus Prime trailer prototype, so now we're getting into... this is a fan-built one. Never mind, yeah, we're nowhere near the official one. So this is when this is when fans were making trailers for MP01 because they felt like it was, a missing element. If you had the Japanese one, people weren't satisfied, because they're not Zen like me. They weren't satisfied with the cardboard one. So yeah, there was a fan made one. I kind of recall this thing being really lush. There was a lush one, but this might not have been it, because I remember there was like a really fancy one with like tons of functionality, and it was extremely expensive. But Aaron, I guess, are you interested in this next item, the new Transformers Collectors Club announcement?
Yeah, I'm trying to find archive.org.
Okay. I think
except for the thing, the point at Hasbro's page says, "Oops, we can't find this." But it's the Mr. Potato Head. Yeah.
Because on January 3rd, 2005, this was a busy day. Hasbro announced the new Transformers fan club. It will be run by Fun Publications, led by Brian Savage. The Hartmans, Pete Sinclair, Ben Yee, and Rick Alvarez are also part of the advisory board. Since some outstanding OTFCC issues have not been resolved, like Skywarp comics and magazines, the new Collectors Club will be offering a rolled-over membership for those providing proof of payment, either canceled checks or credit card statements, for the 3H Club membership, and discounted enrollment for those who ordered Wreckers number 4. So this was the start of the repair, but also, as Tonbot said, what could possibly go wrong? It would take a few years. This is still like, there's a name in there, and y'all know the name, and we know the name, and then there's the other name in there that's not quite as bad, but in jorts. And this was Ascendant, though. Fun Pub did good things, as most people had heard from like the G.I. Joe side of things. And this is the aughts version of the Joe fandom, of which there were like, this is hyperbole, but it felt like there were maybe 30 of them who were active on the internet.
Yeah.
And those 30 folks said like the big boxes of toys are neat. So we're like, all right. And yeah, everything was generally like fine. It was in the 2010s when it felt like the PR spiral was more of a thing, the vortex, if you will.
Yeah.
One of these names having too much access to Twitter is how, I guess, one way you could put it.
Mm-hmm.
But also on January 3rd, Roger Lee registered DreamEngine.ca and did not renew Dreamwave Prod.ca. I wonder what's going on. You all know if you were here last stream or you watched the panel, but still, this is the build. Also,
Dream Engine goes now to mydreamengine.com that say website design, web design services in Edmonton.
Oh! Hey, not my home province, really, in any way, shape, or form, but...
with a whole bunch of annoying internet, like the smart web pages that do like the slide over on things as you're panning up and down and parallax things. It's like, look at all the BS that we can build into a web page.
Yeah, we're coming up on Dear Valued Subcontractor, but we're not quite there yet. Yes, also Evetronia, did you know in 2005 IDW received the Transformers license, but in January Dreamwave still had the Transformers license?
Yeah,
I wonder what's happening.
Dreamwave said it's still okay, guys. For real, it's just those bounce checks didn't really bounce so much as they just flopped. But like,
don't worry, we're starting the Dream Engine. The productions may be running down, but the engine persists.
Look, waves come before the engine. Like have you ever seen a boat? When a boat's going, what's in front of it? Is the wave in front of it, or is the engine in front of it? Come on,
Pat told me I'm the best other brother, so Roger Lee, and Pat, even if we're leaving the others behind, everything's gonna be fine. Because it's me and Pat against the world, baby. I believe the long story is that Pat Lee eventually betrayed the other brother as well. But I'm just shooting at the hip here. I'm not checking my facts. I'm remembering off the top of my head. Also, there was a quote-unquote documentary about making the 3D version of Boombox. That probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
For those who want to know, by the way, this is how I can tell at a glance. This link is tfw2005.com/tilde-unicron username /boombox/page1.html.
Yeah.
That probably just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Someone was saying when were smartphones coming? It's like 0809 because it's around about.
I want to say the first iPhone was 2007.
Yeah, but was it?
There were other things that were close, like late 2006.
Was it considered smartphone when it first dropped?
I mean, it had that first generation iPhone. I wouldn't have gotten excited about because it was very walled garden.
Yeah,
and it was like a really smart iPod that happened to make phone calls. But I would say that that was the beginning.
And
of it.
Twitter, I believe, was 06 or 07. But Twitter on your phone with a camera attached to it, I think, didn't really normalize until 0809. Because that's around about when it was about in the first year and a half of the podcast.
Twitter was 2006.
Yeah, and that's when it was a weird, funny site on the side.
Yeah.
A lot of people
share vines on.
A lot of people were still using Facebook through 07. With a lot of these social technology advancements, a lot of it existed for a good year or two before anyone really picked it up. I remember jokes about Twitter on early YouTube, treating it as a funny thing that people are going to forget about.
Yeah, if only we had.
Oh yeah, MRC asking, "What is a man?" Who knows? But yeah, for those who are wondering, we are just at the beginning. Hello, Alexa Silver. We're at the beginning of January 2005, where Repro Labels has added listings for stickers for Smallest Transforming Transformers, Soundwave, and the Prime trailer. I wonder if they still have those on their site. I'm not sure. We have prototype pictures of Galaxy Force Gasket. We know who that is eventually, but yeah, a lot of these prototype photo things, they don't actually work. This is click the title of the news story. When I do, it's just this. There's a Land Bullet gallery online from Charles V. That just takes you to the basic Transformers images listing, so that's why we're not, like, digging into these things. January 4th, 2005. You know, sometimes you just gotta sleep on it for a day. Dreamwave Productions announced today, after 8 years in the comics industry, 4 of which they were self-published, they will be ceasing operations. Established in '96 by brothers Pat and Roger Lee, Dreamwave infused a stagnant comic book market. Even on their way out, wow, they're just like, you all sucked, by the way.
Look, y'all couldn't handle just how big our dicks were.
Yeah. When we
combined,
they
were the biggest, coolest ones.
We combined the dominant American art style with the newly emerging Japanese manga art style. Newly emerging
because they'd only
in
gotten that figured out in '96.
Yeah. No one did manga before 1996.
Japanese artists just didn't know what to do, and finally one of them grabbed the brush with 3 fingers instead of like the backside of their knuckles and went, "Oh,
yeah,
we can draw."
Here at Dreamwave, we invented manga in North America. What's Ninja High School? Never heard of it. I don't actually know how that timeline lines up. I might be talking out my butt. So since then, the company has grown to become one of comic book industry's premier publishers. And Aaron, as you mentioned during the panel that everyone can watch, by the way, that was a good edit. Everyone should watch that. They were at one time, a year before this, posited to maybe even become the new big 3 of like the third of the big 3. Not anymore. So in 2002, they established themselves with the Transformers comics relaunch. They got Duel Masters, Ninja Turtles, I always forget about those, Devil May Cry, Mega Man, I always forget about those. Pat Lee stated, there are a number of reasons for my decision to close Dreamwave. What a way to say that. Citing that the shrinking comic book market combined with a weak US dollar and unsustainable monetary commitments has finally proven to be too financially taxing. I wonder what those unsustainable monetary commitments could possibly have been.
Look, if I don't have a new hypercar every 3 months, I get itchy. Especially when the nose candy starts running light, okay?
Yeah.
And then you've got all these artists saying that they want to get paid for their work and exposure isn't good enough. Like,
by the way, No has dropped a fact. Mega Tokyo started in 2000, 5 years before this. This is Stolen Valor. Thank you. Oh, Griffiths. Okay, so Ninja High School was the first original American manga. Yeah, I thought so. I just always forget, like, I know it was around when I was in K-12, so I was pretty sure it predated Dreamwave. Nowadays, though, we are saying, like, the weak US dollar, if only they knew. Robo Lord Keeper, I'd rather Dreamwave had the Mega Man license than Udon. Yeah. Hope you're all looking forward to your Matt Moylan scripted Mega Man ZX story, whatever the hell that's going to be.
Right. I jammed in before you'd finish the last couple sentences.
Yeah.
No, Valcasis, Dreamwave did do exposure because we talked about that early on.
Yeah, they had a contest.
They had a contest where you could get exposed.
Yeah, they literally wrote that the prize was, quote, exposure. So they did do exposure. They did do exposure. Matt Moylan came from Dreamwave. Yeah, I mean, you know. Would IDW Transformers even exist if not for Dreamwave? I don't know. Because if not for Dreamwave, who knows what Transformers Comics license might have been.
Yeah.
Like, would Hasbro have courted Image? Would they have been successful in courting Marvel since they had the old books? Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, as the only Canadian independent comics publisher, Dreamwave Productions struggled in recent years to maintain its status within a relentlessly shrinking comic book market. Unfortunately, consistently diminishing sales totals over the last several years took their toll, made it impossible to continue. Specific details for closure have not yet been released, but Lee assures both fans and clients alike that Although this is the end of Dreamwave as a comics publisher, I will still be penciling a number of new, exciting projects in conjunction with other studios in the upcoming years.
Please, guys, I still want to do art.
He would,
I'll love my hand. I'll draw big puffy things.
he would go on to be hired directly by Marvel within spitting distance of this announcement.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm sure, like, another thing that's like, okay, I tend to parse text very specifically because engineering background. As the only Canadian independent comics publisher, how big do you have to be in order to be considered a comics publisher? Somebody running comics off as a zine, are they publishing comics?
It's a bold statement to make for sure. I was kind of clicking some gears
Collector,
in my brain.
Collector Canine right there. Typed it up as I was running through it.
Yeah,
Like,
they quote, they were not the only independent Canadian comics publisher, but yeah, it was pretty, I was like, that's a pretty weird, especially as you're closing. What a strange statement to make. Like, are you just trying to drop the door frame on everyone left behind on your way out? Like, what is this?
Again, his penis is so large that nobody else could handle it being in the same room.
Yeah.
But like you got to tell everybody when your penis is that big. It's obvious by all the hypercar, sports cars, supercars, the hypercars that he has. That's the sure sign of massive manhood.
That car show that we had front news documentation of him attending, wherein he possibly purchased his famously purchased sports cars. I forgot about the actual specifics of this statement. We're closing. We invented North American manga. We are the only Canadian publisher, and now we're closing because the American dollar simply ain't good enough. Sounds like it's all y'all's fault. But we were the only ones in the game, so I guess it's all over. If anyone says they're doing anything we did, they're doing it second. With his ex-wife, remember that? Yeah, I mean, boy, you can just, there is a chain of tied together handkerchiefs in the magician's pocket when you start like going, also remember this other thing Pat Lee did. But yeah, as she all said, thank you, Pat Lee, for inventing manga and for saving the Transformers. I'm not sure if we get... I think we do get a bit more Dreamwave front paging in light of this. But we are now also entering the Void months, wherein we go... So are we getting any Transformers comics ever again?
Yeah, because I think this will have the same kind of coughing, sputtering end of the things that are still in the pipeline, and then that has to clear out before like licenses are cleared up.
Yeah, they gotta clear their throat and blow their nose. Hey, by the way, eHobbies put up pages for Gasket and Guard Shell. Guard Shell, I like that name still. That was it Landmine, the yellow excavator from Cybertron? I liked the name Guard Shell more, but I think that's just a cool name, because he protects. We got some Dream Dome.
And has a shell, I guess.
Yeah, that's what he protects with. We have Dream Dome 2005 images. Oh wait, this is a board thread, but it's an error. Oh, because we're getting closer. Also, because we had that happen a few times last time, where one of the upcoming message board database errors results in a reset of the board number count. So we're gonna start having links that are not dead; they simply connect to the future, to unrelated threads from
the
06
trailer.
onwards.
The trailer prototype link is one of those that links to a post from 2006.
Okay. I'm gonna click here. Let's see. Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Apocalypse. This doesn't sound like it.
Because that was post number 873,985.
This is just a sales post too, damn. Although, two Takara Ryukendo items, that's some nostalgia as well. That's prescient. Ryukendo is coming back in T-Spark. Did anyone buy it?
I'm sure that somebody purchased it, but
it just seems to be Triformis going like, you don't know what you're selling. All right. Well, I believe we're on to the next page. What a way to start the year, by the way. Yeah, we could just leave a reply 18 years later, is this still available? HotTopic.com updates with new Transformers shirts, $18 a piece. Hey, thanks to Alfie of the 2005 boards for that heads up. Were we doing news credit in 05? I can't remember.
No.
Okay.
Like you got credit here, but it wasn't like points that you got.
Yeah, like the ticker that didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Well, someone should.
I'd yell at her, but I think she's through like 4 doors at this point. She's got an early day tomorrow.
We have proof right here. Surely we could get a supermod to like back add.
Yeah. I think I could just go in and add that if I really felt like it.
You should, and just notate it
if
for
those,
January 5th, 2005.
Actually mattered. Yeah.
All right. Collectors Club website is now live. I wonder if TransformersClub.com still works. I can't remember.
It does go to something. It's an archive page, though, is what it reads as now.
Oh, okay. They held on to it.
Yeah, for now.
I forgot how dinky this website was.
Yeah. That was their peak design in the end of the year of 2019 as well.
This is of the era. I love the stretched Facebook graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, their last updates were in 2017 and then 2019.
As all clearance sale, summer sale items, these things that they promised you would never be available anywhere else ever.
We gotta flush this warehouse, baby. Costs money.
Yeah.
All right, so if you join by March, there's a free figure. It's part of a combiner group. So we deduced like, oh, they're doing an Energon combiner. That's cool. So each year you get part of a combiner. And in 05, I think in 05 I was really into this idea because I like the idea that each year you're building a bigger figure. Definitely year 4 was the weakest of the years because at that point you were like, all right, actually this is getting really boring.
Limb. Yeah.
I would actually really like to just finish this. But yeah, here are some of the benefits. There was a bi-monthly newsletter with all of this stuff. 6-page ongoing comic books. You can get members-only figures. There's the members-only forum. I remember taking a minute to get going. That was like an ongoing thing for a little bit. Oh, and
yeah,
Master Collector. Remember that rag?
Yeah.
I
found another chunk of those, and I had to do the serious thing of like I kept them because it had the comic stuff in it, and it was a bit of a run, and I still have that little bit of sickness in my brain. Not that it's of any value, but yeah.
I only call it a rag because it was literal newsprint. In hindsight, I think Master Collector was adorable.
Yeah, Master Collector was very much a product of like the 90s.
Yeah.
That just didn't. And that maybe like that's what like the Joe Club was, and that's what most of Master Collector frequently seemed to be, was like buy sell trade newspaper that was a once monthly newspaper that went out. And if you're in the Transformers Club, every other week was, or no, that was Master Collector was what was the paper version? Was that also Master Collector? I forget. I have to go find it again.
Yeah, Master Collector was the newsprint thing. Which was not the Collectors Club newsletter because that was printed like an actual like comic book. Blatrain, Master Collector. So you know how in the 2000s we demonstrably had buy-sell trade forums? What if someone was still making the equivalent of a classified ads-only newspaper for toy collectors that you had to purchase a subscription for?
And would be mailed to you once a month.
Yes.
In the mail, like snail mail.
Yeah. When, and I will repeat, we already had multiple years of buy-sell trade forums because time continued onwards. I was meaner to it. I was mean to it because, like, you know, at the time I was young enough to be like, this is stupid. Like I'll say, in hindsight, I think it's kind of adorable. It's sort of endearing. it was a very goofy thing to constantly advertise as a huge feature, because
Yeah.
for a majority of the user base, especially when they brought in so many Transformers fans who were naturally tending to be younger than the G.I. Joe fans, most everyone from the Transformers fandom was like, what is the purpose of this? Other than packing material.
Yeah, and it was like you got 30 words for free in it, and like that would, it's newsprint, and so you got to pay for that in a way. But again, there's buy sell, there were buy sell trade. It was like the thing that I kept moderating for quite a while as an active moderator on TFW was the Junkion exchange, and you just write up as much as you want to say, and you could have links to pictures, or later on host your own pictures or whatever, and have live updates on it. Not best case scenario, 2 weeks ago when you submitted your thing. Worst case scenario, 6 weeks old before the next update to say like, yeah, it's already been sold. Like you have to, because not only is your free 30-word ad, you have to say what it is that you have, but you also have to have the way for that person to get in contact with you.
Yeah, and that's part of your 30 words.
Like as an email address, or maybe even a phone number. I should go and grab one.
Yeah, have a look.
And go and look at it. And
Griff, by the way,
oh my god.
Griff found Master Collector does have a TF wiki page. Apparently it ran from 1993 until 2010. Robolord Keeper also saying, kind of nuts to say, hey, toy collectors, we know you buy toys, how about also forking out for a subscription fee? So at the time, the way that we all rationalized this was you just treated the subscription fee as the cost of the quote-unquote free exclusive figure. Over time, it would be clear, like, okay, I guess I'm paying for the production of the newsletter comic magazine as well. But most folks would just treat the cost of the club subscription as the base cost of the exclusive, which I believe FunPub people did tend to bristle at, because they wanted you to believe, or they wanted you to not believe, but
the whole package was worth it,
and they wanted you to treat the figure as a free bonus that you weren't paying for, because that was part of the presentation of the the package. But we're all on a message board talking to each other outside of these pieces of ad copy. For pragmatic sake, most people would just go like, yeah, the base cost of an exclusive from FunPub is the subscription fee, because that made the most sense.
And then later on it was the discounts to go to the convention. So it was
oh yeah,
it was the thing that, like, if you were going to BotCon, you signed up for this because the discount that you got as a club member was greater than the cost of the club.
And you could sign up like with your BotCon registration, so it was actually strictly worse to not sign up for the club if you were also getting a BotCon ticket.
Right.
Like, it was actually just strictly mathematically worse to not do that. About guys saying you had access to their forum that was a wasteland. So I remember that forum taking a very long time to actually exist.
Yes.
Like, at least the better part of a calendar year. Because I remember it was a huge event when it actually came to exist. And that it took long enough.
Like some weird, like 2-generation old version of the standard.
Forum, yeah,
or something.
It was like old stuff. I just remember that when the forum actually was available, it took long enough that the mid-aughts version of an internet audience had lost interest already for the most part. And it went away after they spent years saying it was coming. And it went away. They spent years saying we're rebuilding it to bring it back, and then it just never did.
And then it was the official channel on a different Transformers website that then caused issues at that Transformers website. And then
was that the Allspark era? Or was Allspark afterwards?
Yeah, well, it was. This is much later in time, and my memory is a little bit shaky on it because I never really went over there. But I'm pretty sure that it was like somebody at the Allspark said, "Hey, we're doing this now," and I just went ahead and set it up. And half of the people on the Allspark were like, but that guy scammed the crap out of a bunch of us, and other people went, but the exposure, and then
Yeah.
it
Logos
caused
is
split.
Logos is
Maybe
saying
Cybertron.
yeah. That's what I'm because the Allspark
Maybe
one was
Cybertron, yeah.
the Allspark one was much closer to the current era, and I was really sure there
okay.
was one before then.
Yeah. That is
What a weird thing to say. Allspark was
not
the
to-
second time that they set up camp on a message board.
not to spill a bunch of tea, but that is also one of the reasons why TFW is just very bleh when it comes to posting stuff about BotCon stuff, or became very bleh when it came to posting stuff about BotCon on the front page, because it was like they were going to be their own independent thing.
Mhm.
That's cool. We'll post it when it comes up, and then it became like, no, this other site is going to get all of our news first, and you just have to respect that. And it was like, well, do you have just the general PR blast? Can those all go out at the same time? No, they get it as an exclusive. And so it was like, all right, well, if it's going as an exclusive to somebody else, why should we put effort into trying to help spread your news when you're specifically saying these people get it first?
Oh no, Volkais is also mentioning, I remember this, BotCon was extremely defensive of any imagery from the club magazine going online, which when the club started to get news scoops of like first looks at upcoming toys, it became this discussion of like, well then how do people discuss it if we can't show it? I think it was Reveal the Shield Wreck-Gar was one of the main ones, because they got the first images of it to print, not put online. And so it became this situation of BotCon's like, no, you can discuss Wreck-Gar, just don't show you have to be a member to see the pictures. And we're like, see, I mean, what are the discussion threads going to be then? Like,
Yeah.
Because people are just going to pass scans around privately at that point anyway.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, this next news story, Black Robot Master's story translation for Black G1 Convoy takes us to just the boards. So this is a different kind, a third kind of error off of a board link.
Yeah, so that's when it's show thread, I think those are mostly dead. When it's show post, it finds that post number in whatever thread exists.
Yeah. Also, welcome new sponsors, Repro Labels and Styling Online. I think that just would carry on in perpetuity from this point onwards.
So the funny thing is, Styling Online points at a Yahoo store that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, wow. Store.yahoo.
Redirects to ToyX.
Store.yahoo.com/Styling Online. That is a very indie Styling Online. No, saying 2005 NFTs. Yeah, don't share our images.
Yeah.
By the way, I hope y'all certainly have seen by now that some of the ape NFT images, those sites are gone. People now own URL receipts pointing to dead links. It already happened. Got a first pick of GD Demolisher or Demolisher. Bill's Toys and Games, hey, trustworthy vendor in 2005. We got images of the Energon Micromaster Constructicons, so these are the KB Toy exclusive versions. That was my favorite of the stateside remakes of the six combiner Micromasters, because those ones they did just in Constructicon colors, and it was kind of sharp, like it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, see, that link works because it's saying like post ID. And War Within TV miniseries is where that goes.
It's all 06. Holy moly. Dom doesn't have to draw it, just someone who could do the designs justice. Or it could be CGI, possibly by Mainframe. This is a cute example, right, of what fan candor, as I recall it, tended to be like in the 2000s, was they should just make a cartoon of a comic I like. And it's not just, this isn't calling out a person. This was very common. I was buying into this back then. They should make a cartoon of that good comic. Just get someone who like can draw it to look like how it was drawn. And if it has to be CG, then it should be Mainframe, the only CG animation company that we all know of. Because like in the mid 2000s, it was still, we would just default to Mainframe because we were like Beast Machines.
Yeah, they did Beast Wars and Beast Machines. They know what they're doing. surely nobody that worked on that has gone to any other projects. It's just the same people. They just open up Transformers.exe and away it goes.
Yeah.
They just got to put it. They only have to put a different model in, and it works.
Mike Erneroth pointing out, long after mainframe stopped holding on to mainframe, sadly, because the thing at this point they were, whoever we thought our magic mainframe animators were going to be were like not there. They. So yeah, this is just I call this cute and adorable now because I think it was because I bought into this kind of mindset because like, you know, you spend all your time on a message board. It's a lot more tunnel visioned than spending all your time on a social media platform. You should still go outside either way now and then. Guess what I didn't do today because I slept through the afternoon. Also, I think Don would probably die if he had to hand draw every shot himself. Very few cartoons are broadcast live. It's a terrible strain on the animator's wrists. I remember that line coming from somewhere. Also, wow, this updated signature picture. Calling out Studio Trigger for not drawing the Dinobots or the Rescue Bots. Not wrong. Not wrong. Alright, so Comic License Update Part 2. So not written by Pat Lee, I am assuming. Due to mitigating financial factors, Dreamwave Productions has ceased operations effective immediately. No further products will ship from the company. An announcement regarding a new publisher for their titles, including Transformers, expected in the near future. All pending product orders for Dreamwave titles will be made order adjustable and shipped from the new company. Previously published Dreamwave titles are available for reorder. Okay, quote, any time a vendor closes its doors, it impacts every level of the industry, especially retailers and fans, says Diamond Vice President of Purchases Bill Shanes. Diamond, by the way, I believe no longer exists as it did. Fortunately...
I think they've gone through a revision or 3.
Yeah. Fortunately, in Dreamwave's case, there are a number of companies actively pursuing their licensed and original titles, and we fully expect all Dreamwave series to continue once the dust is... Whoa, that's bold. To continue. We're sure someone will just pick up everything they were working on and rehire everyone that was hired, and everything will just continue onwards. Dreamwave and Diamond regret any inconvenience caused by this event. Pat Lee sounded a lot more like confident and bold about, quote, my decision to close the company earlier.
For the other question, Diamond Comics is currently restructuring it under Chapter 11.
Okay.
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, I was wondering if I couldn't remember where they were at in that little downfall. Timu, imagine if someone actually finishes the Energon comic in 2026. I mean, that'd be pretty funny.
They actually have a hearing tomorrow in real time.
Wait, for real? For real?
For real. 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 2025. Status hearing to be held on 4/30/2025 at 10:30 a.m. in-person hearing, courtroom 9D, Baltimore, Judge Rice.
Can we send a representative to that hearing to go like, hey, for the sake of the news dive streams, you know who we all are. All right, yeah. So things are continuing on with the Dreamwave story. Aaron Ross saying most recent Diamond news is Alliance Entertainment is angry because Diamond misrepresented its deal with Wizards of the Coast, so they're trying to pull out of the deal. I think. Oof. Yeah, like seeing because in the aughts, Diamond was just this monolith, this untouchable giant. They were the backbone of the comics and, in some ways, parts of the hobby industry. They were the final authority. They could say things like this. Order a free copy. Oh, U.S. I remember. Yeah, I was mad about this because it was U.S. residents only, and I didn't understand why in 05. So yeah, you get the first issue free. From the collector's club.
Hey, that club membership link still works. Third Mail Transformers Collectors Club, $40 per year for 12 issues. Includes 12 Master Collectors and 6 newsletters. Coming in February, April, June.
Canadian First Class, thank you.
Canadian First Class is $69.
Nice. I'm going to click this. I want to join the club. No one should
Method of
use
payment,
this
just-
form.
Huh. Wonder why they had issues with credit card information getting.
How did they know that my name is
Because you're
Cookie dot
sending
first
your-
name?
Because you're sending your credit card information in the clear and open.
Oh yeah, the card number should have no spaces or dashes. Why is this still here? What? I'm freaked out by the way it's just everything says hashtag cookie.
Yeah. Well, it's probably looking for a cookie that doesn't exist anymore that probably tried to save your information.
Aaron, did this form even exist back in the day? I thought you had to fax still in 05. I mean, I thought that they put... Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the link to join is there. You had to fax your information for BotCons because that was important to them for like the order that you got in the theoretical line to pick up stuff.
Why are there 2 country fields? And why is one of them just a text field that's... How... What if I just applied and said I'm from the combined country of Abu Dhabi, Canada?
Yeah, I think one of those is like a country postal code and one's maybe a short. I don't know.
I love talking to my friends from hashtag state name hashtag, which are not
Yeah.
in the armed forces, by the way. No, they both say there's one here is country that auto-filled with Canada because I clicked Canadian thing, but then there's also a drop-down also called country. That just
Yeah,
has,
I got this. I got the same thing that also autofilled with Canada for the U.S. cheap one. So
Yeah. Also, I like this part that says email addresses do not start with www. Please do, line break, not put www in front of your email address.
Yeah.
Maybe it was supposed to be county. I'm leaving this up, by the way, for a little bit, just so that hopefully lots of people can just have some nice photo proof that why is this still up? Like,
because they just like locked stuff in amber.
I'm gonna finalize my membership application. Do I need to make changes or do I just process my order?
Hit process order. I want that to ping somebody's email.
Jesus.
Ah.
Well, if you want to, I don't know, tickle some database somewhere on someone's computer, you should head on over to transformersclub.com/membership.cfm. Don't fill anything into any of those fields, but click through all the buttons. Because, yes, cookie.whatever now has a membership, with a Canadian first-class mail membership, I should add. Alexa Silver, if I get a CD in the mail, that'll be very frightening because none of my information went in there. No face forward. Do not fill in all the details. I will just say right now, do not fill in all the details, because if you do, you're taking a membership away from hashtag cookie. And that's who we're here to support, our Kami Oshi hashtag cookie. We're trying to get them as many Transformers Club memberships as possible. I just want to know if we bulldoze that button, like who gets the... Talking about we know. I know, I have to say it, you know? I have... For the sake of our society, I have to say it. Aaron, I wasn't expecting to find like this.
Yeah. I always
even-
love when we hit a website that just breaks.
I don't even
And
know.
just breaks us.
I'm foreign from another country. What do you autofill my country as if I do this? Canada. Oh, hang on. I'm third class male American. What do you?
Yeah, autofilled country.
Canada.
Yeah.
It's gonna finalize my membership application.
And the fun thing is, the address that's on all of those is a gated subdivision, Cattle Baron Park.
Really? Oh, down here.
I believe that is Brian Savage's home address.
Brian Savage, we're trying to help you. Comments. Brian, your address is still posted on the internet. You should take this down. Unless it's no biggie, because this is also pretty funny. Lol, Lameo, cry face emoji.
So that one won't happen, but if you hit the email advertising department contact us link on the side, I think that does take you to something that may fire off an actual email.
Well, let me just see what happens if I do this. Well, thank goodness we set another one off. Sorry, what was that link you were talking about?
If you go back a page there, go back to your become a member on the right hand side.
Oh, contact us. I don't... What if I go submit? Thank you. Thank goodness. Hang on, I better just so they get... I gotta make sure they know.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, some sweet little lady in Fort Worth keeps getting mail orders for the BotCons, and she doesn't understand why the robots keep reaching out to her.
Questions. Do you know that this website is still online? Please leave it up. It's funny. Lol, Lamau, cry face emoji. Alright. This is really weird. I figured there'd be an error message somewhere in this.
Yep.
This is like anti-error messages. If I'm on the front page, so if I just go to this.com, right?
Uh-huh.
Is there can I get to that membership page from here? Or is that at least not linked on the front page?
Nope, that's on, like, if you hit Club Toys or Benefits, like, that's their sidebar. That is a hard-coded sidebar. That is not a dynamic sidebar. You expect them to have decent
I meant that membership
development.
forum. The 69 Nice for Canada forum. Like, is that actually directly linked anywhere on here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think it is.
I mean, but the page is still live, so...
Yeah. No, I think because that's classic bad web design, is you just take the link to the page off, but you leave the page up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, contact the office.
Yeah.
Hi. At least it automatically forwards you to the front page after 5 seconds. So that part works still.
They
Just
still
go to
have
the
links
site
for
map.
all the figure subscription services, and you can see what each of the 1.0 to the 5.0 goes to a dead page.
Hey, I can still log in to the
store. You can see the
It's
Thunder
just...
Mayhem. Oh, it's trying.
Oh, this is the GIJoeClub.com shop now. Is the top store link, but then the TransformersClub.shop is just a white page.
What's sad is that this is a 2016 website.
Yeah.
Like, people knew how to website, except for this was probably still being web designed by Brian Savage's eldest son, or whoever it was that was doing it at the time.
Hunter Savage, was that his name?
Yeah. something like that.
Cool guy. The PDFs are all here. That's good. I'm assuming the TF Wiki has archived all these PDFs themselves, because I'm going to go out on a limb and say don't rely on this website for archival.
Especially now that you've sent off a couple emails out of it.
Now that I'm using it as social media to talk to whoever might be on the other end. Wait, if you're getting these, post hi BB on the front page. BB ooh woo. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Sorry, didn't mean to get sidetracked by all that, but I just thought I'd run into an error message at some point. I'm not used to forms that you can submit without putting anything in them, and then get a successful submission message afterwards. Let's refresh the front page, see if they got my. Nope, not yet. Do you think they're watching the stream? No, probably not.
No.
I have to back out. I'm going to get way too carried away with this bit if I don't. We got to remember that we'll check in on that next time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, if you would like to send some messages through, I guess, their still existing system, you now have seen how. So, you know, have a ball. Have a good time. Hey, the Takara G1...
We're 1 hour and 7 days in.
Well, a lot of Dreamwave happened, and then that happened. So, you know, surely nothing else will happen. There's some Galaxy Force Episode 1 clips. They're all WMV files, so you'll need a compatible player.
High-res and low-res options for those of you still on dial-up.
Oh, yeah. So it's either 17 megabytes or 1.5 megabytes. You know, so we're taking care of you all on the 14.4. Sorry, 28. It was 28.8 at this point, right?
You'd have 56.6. That's where phone line topped out. You wouldn't ever get 56.6. You'd probably be 48.8. Like if you had perfect copper between on the whole way, you might get the full 56.
Alexis Silver, I think saying 360 or 144 is still maybe overstating the resolution on these clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 of God. You could download that clip and put it on a floppy disk and take it home.
Now you had zip drives at this point. I was using zip drives freshman year. You could load 2 or 3 episodes up on a zip disk.
My distant experience,
so long as it didn't do the click of death and just invalidate the whole disc, and then you're out like the $20 that disc cost.
You had to be a college student in the aughts to have a zip disk drive. Like as someone who was only barely one and didn't have one and thought like, oh, maybe that's a good investment. I remember back then people were like, no, don't bother. I know it looks cool and I know it sounds great. It ain't. It's not worth it. Better technology will come. And it did.
I had to because I was an engineering student at Purdue University, and that's how when you had your big files, that was the way that you had to transfer them.
Yep. I remember it was when zip disks were going out and they were getting really cheap. I was like, maybe I should get a zip disk drive. And that's when a lot of people told me, no, don't. Galaxy Force figure previews. Nitro. We're about to reach the debut of Nitro Convoy. Among others. Flame Convoy pictures are up in the Sound Off on the Galaxy Force premiere. Post your thoughts here. Is this a thread? Oh, it's a thread. Dang, it's an error. United Kingdom Toys R Us to axe alternators and Energon deluxes. I remember this was still an era of suffrage and suffering for I should say for most European Transformers collectors. Oh yeah, Bradders wrote this, and it starts with, just when you thought the UK couldn't get the shaft anymore.
Yeah.
Toys R Us comes to the rescue to prove that being a Transformers fan in the UK is a depressing and almost impossible hobby. Bradders, by the way, friend of the channel.
That's why they made all those early botcons, because those toys didn't come out over there.
Yeah. We've got reviews up. Where? Oh, these are board articles. Okay, so those are just going to be errors.
Yeah.
Diamond Select adds Transformers to their growing portfolio of licenses. There's plans to release product lines including plaques, bookends, replicas, motion globes, and wall-mounted statues. What replicas of what?
We got tchotchkes left and right.
There is no live-action movie. Replicas of what?
Wasn't there an early Matrix of Leadership that was a Diamond Select?
Maybe. Human replicas. Well, listen. In 1984, the Transformers brand took the world by storm with its compelling saga of the robots in disguise, and it quickly became a childhood rite of passage with a tremendously successful toy line from Hasbro and Takara, comic book series, television program, and animated feature film. 20 years later, a new generation of kids discovered the excitement of the Transformers brand and legendary characters such as Optimus Prime and Megatron, which are truly more than meets the eye. So I feel good about this now. Also, off of our panel where we talked about these things, Aaron, the OTFCC 2003 collector's plates are arriving.
Yes.
In January 2005.
2005, yeah. Yeah.
You all should watch the panel, by the way, if you haven't, because we had I forgot about the fun conversation we had about collector plates, which included a very good audience to whom we could say, hey, is anyone out there just not knowing what we're talking about when we say collector's plates? Lots of hands go up. Explaining what a collector plate is, people making confused noises. Saying, you don't eat off them, people making confused noises.
I remember one woman, 5 rows back on the left-hand side that was collector's plates, and as more information kept coming out, her eyes, she just kept getting more and more I'm understanding what he's saying, but I'm now even further more confused than I was before.
Yeah, we saw
seeing that happen on a face was ooh, yeah, okay.
Between collector plates and Transformers Are Punk Now, we had some amazing. I wish we had been filmed. I mean, that would be rude, but I wish we had somehow been able to film the audience.
Have the crowd cam set up. What you need to do is get one of the action cams. Get sponsored by whatever company's got the latest version of it, and just sit that there so that it's a camera towards us, but also you can punch in 4K to the person going, huh?
Yeah, because we had a lot of faces during that panel. But yeah, these are plates that are meant to be displayed on your mantelpiece, and they contain chemical paint in them that is toxic, and there's a sticker on every single one that says "Do not eat off this plate." And I think during the panel we had what was it? We had people who were. Didn't someone mention that or was it you, Aaron? Collector's plates were already on the out even in 2002.
Yeah.
They were an artifact of the 80s that survived the 90s, and their persistence in the aughts was an aberrance. It was
Yeah, so I know that somewhere at one point in time, Dad had... The one thing I wish that I had from Dad that I have no idea where it went to, and he's unfortunately passed away now for 5 years or so, was he had a bunch of Franklin Mint starships, from Star Trek, that were pewtered and cut glass things, so it looked like the Enterprise or whatever. But I know that there were also he had a series of Franklin Mint collector plates for the original series. And so if you search Transformers collector plate, there's on eBay, there's a 2002, a couple of those, 2001. So people can get the idea of what these are. I don't see any 2003s, oddly.
Juan Hernandez is saying there's a single Frank Sinatra plate going for $1 million on eBay right now.
Yeah, there it's a thing that is of an age that was like that. This is what, like, you know, you used to have the china cabinet because that's where you put the good china, your good plate wares that'd be like your wedding gift that you would bust out like maybe once or twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became like a tchotchke cabinet, and then somebody had the bright idea of, well, if you're already putting plates in there, why not put some art on those plates? And
Plate
the way
as a
they
medium.
went, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a surface that you can paint. Why wouldn't you? Yeah. Wheeljack's Lab has number 15 from 2002 up for $34.
Oh.
Free shipping.
Oh. Because I have all the plates from like 2000 to whenever they stopped doing them. Dude, I just never took it. They would give them to you in a little pizza box, and because I didn't know what the hell they were, I just left them in the pizza box.
You can get number 168 for $15 and $9 delivery. Apparently 2002 is the year for the plates, because
Dang.
there's number 15, there's number 168, there's number 7, there's number 13, there's number 14. Oh, this is all just Wheeljack's Lab. That'd be why.
Who's a bad enough dude to collect every single plate from one year?
Yeah. The 2000 plates are a little bit more expensive, $80, $90, $100 for a lower number.
Oh, Ronnie Lane saying I saw a Disney collector plate that had the super frank label of, quote, plate may poison food. That's pretty great. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, the plates, it took a year and a half, but they're finally showing up. Reprolabels.com, by the way, releasing custom Sound Blaster stickers, getting into more and more original-ish work. Cartoon Network finally adding new Energon episodes. By the way, live from youtube.com/@Diaclona has been doing an Energon watch, and at one point she was watching in her Discord, and I watched 2.5 episodes of Energon. I never watched Energon. I only watched Superlink. Energon is terrible. Like, like whatever you want to, not to be controversial, whatever you want to say about Armada as a production, right? Whatever shred of scrappy soul Armada may have had is gone in especially halfway through Energon, which were the episodes I was witness to. I was gobsmacked. Like,
yeah,
like Superlink at least had some, working professional seiyuu doing their best to just compensate by shouting a lot. The Energon dub, you can hear Gary Chalk, like, trying to figure out why he's still there. You can hear David Kay struggling to do anything. I forgot that Rodimus's voice is ridiculously deep to a comical degree.
my memories. So I've not gone back and watched Energon since, like, I'm pretty sure that I watched them live as they were. My memories of it seems like it was just like, okay, we got on the first take, let's move on type of voice recording. Like, hey, everybody gets their lines. Yeah. Definitely wasn't recorded in the round, and that was like, that's it. Like,
Well, here's what
you go into the sound booth. Here's a bunch of lines. Maybe they didn't even have the opposing lines, and just like, hey, read these off. All right, you're good.
So if I recall correctly, Energon was still done before the Superlink dub, so they were just acting to beeps and silence. Yeah. Also, wave sign, kicker, our plans, kicker. You're giving that more energy than what I heard halfway through the series, because what I heard was, kicker, our planets are... all right, men, we gotta mobilize the men, and I'm gonna power link. Hey, Megatron, the men and me are here. Is Superlink Alpha Q as foppish as... Okay, yeah, so, the friggin' Alpha Q has 2 generic voices, then the geisha face has just, like, the most friggin' drama student ass, like, oh, kind of voice, like, to an insulting degree. So in Superlink, that face had, if I recall correctly, a little bit more of a geisha styling, like kabuki styling to its vocal performance. But then, like, another one of the voices, like the one in Energon who just talks like this all the time, in Superlink was a goofy, like, it wasn't like better, but it was better, I think, but it wasn't like that much different. But it was a goofy guy who would just kind of talk like this all the time and sound like he's been punched in the head. But it wasn't literally like, in Energon, it's I'm aggressive and woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, and then I'm old. And like, that's it. The episode I saw involved like when Alpha Q also like flies himself into the sun or whatever. And yeah, the men. I didn't realize the men was that pervasive in the Energon dub. But the number of times that Gary Chalk says in a tired voice, "The men," so funny. Oh, Longer Valley. Superlink totally isn't up on YouTube subbed right now, so definitely don't search for it. Okay, yeah, I noted. Anyway, yeah, I'll be mean to Energon because I'm already mean to Superlink. Energon is worse. And then for those who don't know, Energon also is just straight up missing a plot critical episode. It just doesn't exist. They didn't dub it. They forgot. Oh, hey, Hasbro's accepting additional proof of purchase for the Collectors Club membership. So, in this, Aaron, would it be fair to call this a minor debacle? They are now also accepting photocopies of the cover of the first issue of the club newsletter sent by 3H Productions, bearing both the member address label, bearing the member address label and or a copy of the welcome letter sent by 3H Productions.
Mm-hmm.
We will also still accept a canceled check.
Yeah, this was really Hasbro, like, I guess, standing up for the fact that it was a licensed thing, and even though the official Transformers Collectors Club kind of dropped the ball, the new Transformers Club is a somewhat continuation of it.
Yeah. Slight mea culpa also, because they were like, wow, this was a disaster. Degenerate Agent X, first equals only. Yeah, I mean, I would assume as much. So yeah, we got excitement still. Oh, official Transformers movie site coming soon. Oh.
Mm-hmm. It's on Don Murphy's message board.
I clicked the link and I got web protection by Bitdefender.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go there.
That's not thrilling. Let's see what the... do we have a 2012 or a 2005?
Arbiter Fabulous! What's up? That's Faust in the chat. Hey, how's it going? I'm talking about news from 2005, so, like, that's actually City of Heroes era.
So this is in a response for some questions for Dawn. Is the production team in place / started work on the film such as artists, or does that take place after the script is done? Yes, very soon. Indeed, the site will be for the fans, the official site for the public. So, or sorry, no, will there be an official website soon? Sorry, I was cross-threading because of giant weird quotes.
Wave sign.
Yeah, will there be official website? And he says yes, very soon.
As of this point in the timeline, Michael Bay is still confirmed as the only director to definitely not be directing the upcoming new Transformers movie. In the year 2005, Michael Bay is still not in the running specifically.
Yeah, we are still super light. Yeah, is there a production team in place started work on the film, such as artists, or does that take place afterwards, after the script is done, at least sort of in shape? So at least at this point in time, the script is not in shape.
Yeah. The Tombot, the site will not be for the fans.
Yeah.
Okay. So not as cursed as I was fearing, but yeah, I don't remember that website at all. Outside of like a generic website for a movie going in theaters, I don't remember a Transformers movie site.
Yeah, I don't know what it would have been.
Yeah, well, it'd been for the fans. That's what it would.
Some weird Flash game, and that's it.
Yeah. By the way, Hasbro is providing contribution to the Tsunami release efforts because this was this is when the southeast or southern Asia tsunami disaster happened, which I always like conflate in my memory with like one or two other tsunamis that were not in the aughts. But yeah, I remember this one in the news still. So they were doing a large toy donation stuff to World Vision and UNICEF. Tsunami release effort? No, relief. Hasbro was not yet releasing their tsunami. They were saving that for when people started pirating Transformers toys.
They're holding it back still at this point.
Yeah. Shia, there was an ARG for the 07 movie. Right! Because that's the one that had Starscream dialogue on the website with like a bunch of static and stuff, if I remember right. Released the tsunami. New book images in Amazon.com for the Pocket Field Guide. Whose Pocket Field Guide was this? Oh, it was this one. Okay. We talked about this last time. Yeah. 3 more figure reviews added. Article PHP, so they will not work. Blitzwing is book reissue number 17. Preliminary 2004 results. Losses expected. Ooh. I don't remember why that would happen. In package images of
the weakening U.S. dollar, clearly.
Right, Pat Lee said the U.S. dollar's in the tank. Yeah. So yeah, he was future vision. This is also, I guess, when in package images of Alpha Quintesson were first popping up. Mysterious Galaxy Force King Starscream test shot. An Armada Energon Unicron-sized Galaxy Force Starscream. There seem to be slight remolds. And a movie-inspired crown. Mainline toy or weird knockoff? We aren't sure as of yet. So I forgot that thing got popped up that early.
Yeah.
Oh! Hey, look, Transformers Con, which would eventually become TF Con. 2005 convention-exclusive comic officially canceled due to Dreamwave Productions ceasing operations. All pre-orders have been refunded. Fortunately, former Dreamwave employees now are still interested in attending the convention, so the Dreamwave panel will still be occurring to answer your questions. I wonder how that panel went. Yeah, slight remolds. It's huge.
Yeah.
We slightly remolded the toy to be 3 times the volume.
Yeah.
All right, the Blitzwing reissue, Micron booster stuff. Okay, Club official comic preview. What's the click here do? Okay, this is still up too. They never take anything down. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's no dynamic. This is all hard coded.
Yeah. Well, there's Vector Prime. The Starscream was Wave 1 for the US, wasn't it? Was it? Maybe you're... Okay, yeah. Maybe you're... Oh! Right, because it was a whole thing that the Galaxy Force Little Starscream, didn't come out forever.
Yeah, it one at that scale never came out.
Didn't he get a weird red version in, an exclusive pack or something?
Much later.
Yeah. Because it was easier for me to buy everything Galaxy Force because of distro in my part of Canada at the time. Mm-hmm. So I just didn't engage with this stuff. Anyway, yeah, Cybertron, the body of Primus, Lord of Light, Herald of Creation, etc., etc. This is still up if you want to check out Vector Prime nudging a caveman with his finger. Exclusive thrust. The U.S. never got the mold in his color. Oh, yeah, but yeah, the Voyager came out in a weird, scarlet crimson, didn't it? Yeah, the thrust color one? Yeah. Yeah, it was just... Yeah, you never got the real colors one, which is weird. Yeah. Cybertron preview at the Sci-Fi and Comic Book Convention. It's in LA, so that's probably why they're doing a preview, I guess. Toybiz releasing Transformers. Oh, yeah, an upcoming line, the Marvel Metamorphs. I have some of these. This is where the Captain America helicopter came from, which is an all-timer. No pictures, unfortunately. Crazy for a Boss 2. Is Thrust a Boss 2 in the deck building game? I can't remember. E-Hobby exclusive gift set for Victory Saber. I think this was... Oh, no, this is the black repaint. That's a sick black repaint, by the way. It's black and purple.
Yeah.
Don't you have the Thor one? No, Oh, no, I do have the Thor one. Right, I reviewed that on Blip TV. But no, the Captain America helicopter, it's a helicopter with perpetual chicken legs, and Captain America's shield stays a shield, but then propeller panels unfold from it to be the propeller that lifts the helicopter, which, as I'm sure Aaron can attest, would absolutely work. A bunch of propellers folding out of a shield that still is a dome on top of the helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find the Megamorph. Were they Megamorphs?
Yeah, it was a Marvel Meta... oh, yeah, it was Megamorph.
Megamorph is what's showing up.
Yeah.
It's a pain to try to search for it because Morph is a Marvel character, and so the first stuff was showing like
Marvel Morph,
a bunch of different like Marvel Snap cards of Morph, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. So I have to put Transformer in here so that now it kicks. Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
Emma, you had Skylarks as the boss.
One of those weird transforming.
Yeah.
One. Yeah.
Yeah, the Megamorphs, I would stick up for some of them. Not as good toys, but as interesting toys. I always wanted the Ghost Rider. That thing was metal. But yeah, the Victory Saber Black E-Hobby repaint from Robot Masters, I would still recommend that one if it's not expensive. Because I think that was really cool. Oh, sorry. An email from the organizers of the Sci-Fi and Comic Book Convention in LA. This is false! I would love to be able to screen Transformers, but the next con is Sunday and features Seth MacFarlane, the creator of the animated series Family Guy. So Family Guy was around in 2005, for those who don't know. Oh yeah, Megamorph's thing is a rock truck. Right, Griff? I forgot about that. Juan Hernandez, I swear every time I look these up, a new manifests into being. Yeah, that's they're Megamorphs. They're beyond our comprehension. Cybertron SKUs in Canadian Toys R Us computers. Galaxy Force Episode 2 clips online. Any of these? 1.5? No, they're all bigger than 1.5. Oh no! Wait, the trailer for Episode 3, 557 kilobytes.
Yeah, that's. I could load that on my watch easily now.
Yeah.
The world that we're in.
Cybertron Flame Convoy Testshot. Hasbro International What a name. Hasbro International Transformers Club Convention. Not happening until this fall. It did happen. I went to that one. That's where they debuted classics. I forgot that one was in the fall, though. Is Family Guy still around? I assume it is. It doesn't seem to die.
Yes, so BotCon 2005 was September 21st. That was like the same, or that was close enough to my annual historical reenactment thing that I was unable to go. That's the first show that I missed in a big chunk of that time.
Also, yeah, Alexa Silver, I forgot. Yeah, this would have been the Hit CC. We got a better name, I guess, later on. A name that now apparently has way too much baggage attached to it in 2025. The deadline for your free... make sure you submit your free 30-word ad before Monday so it'll make the inaugural issue. Can I submit
that link is still alive.
I'm going to leave enter ad here. Please check out my cool YouTube channel. It is youtube.com/MrBeast. Submit free ad. We have received your ad. It will be in the next available issue. All right.
Don't even have to pay. Yeah. Free ad. So the fun thing is, it's a free ad. There's no check in that. Well, I guess if it was requiring, but it didn't require. I was going to say if it was requiring your biographical information there, it would have probably been checked on a piece of paper against another piece of paper.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the way this worked is you submitted it, and then they would have a person check your information against their paper database to see if you're supposed to have a free ad. So, yeah, remember that URL. It's transformersclub.com/free_ad. If you would like to submit your own free ad, I'll just put that here into the text chat for those of you who would like to submit ads for your own YouTube channels or maybe your latest VHS mixtape. Go right ahead. Hey, Alternator's Wheeljack, Inbox Pictures. We're finally seeing that Mustang in white. Galaxy Force images from Bon Bon Magazine. MRC. Oh, congrats, MRC. When you said I won, I thought you meant in regards to putting in your free ad to the Transformers Collectors Club magazine, but no, you... MRC, I got MRC onto the deck building game, and that game took hold, I believe. Thanks for letting me know what the stream delay is. Hey, I'm here to help. I mean, I could. More figure reviews, fan art in the gallery, which I believe doesn't work. Decepticon Matrix giveaway contest winners. Hey, Drew Iden's review. Former member of the WTF and TFW podcast, Drew Iden, won a comic for reviewing a comic. That's pretty cool.
That's just how you loop infinite, right? So long as you can get high enough to review the to get the free comic, then you can review the next one.
You break even,
and then you
right?
buy comics again.
Oh, Emma, you played twice. Oh, Timu, sorry, I'm busy archiving the PDFs from earlier. See, we're fixing things as we go. We're keeping track of it. IDO 11, that's correct. Right, we got images of Guardshell and Gasket. Palisades statues still exist in January of 2005. Cybertron, we have learned the King Starscream is the Hasbro version of Starscream, crown and all. Good move. I was about to say, did Kickback write this?
Will likely sell at a price point of $50. $50 for that giant chunk of plastic.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you could buy that much ABS on a roll now for $50.
Beanie, welcome. Quote, this is the very first YouTube stream I've actually bothered to send a message in. That is a hell of a first message. Ronnie Lane, Palisades will last like a year maybe past this point. I like how we're like now it's getting real dark on these streams because we're like closing in on several like entities ceasing to exist.
The first couple died, the blood's in the water.
Yeah. Here's a whole bunch of Galaxy Force release info. Liger Jack the First, meaning there will be at least one more Transformer that can combine with Galaxy Convoy. That's kind of a stretch in my opinion. That might have just been them propping up good old Liger Jack. Sideswipe Prime. I didn't. Was Drew Ido 11? Yeah, that was Drew's YouTube account name was Ido 11. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
One of the last few Energon waves show up in Hong Kong. Yeah, this one, Blight. I remember now. It's the Blackout and Blight wave. Gerodimus!
Yeah, from Gerodimus, yeah.
Look at that. But yeah,
his name who's just down the road that I occasionally see him driving.
I send him a text message. A US release shouldn't be far behind.
I'm sure that eBay has killed all of those. Yep.
If I recall correctly, that US release kind of just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Beanie. First time you'll be able to catch one of these. Well, welcome. Hope you have a good time. We're doing the news of January 2005. So take some notes. This is the freshest stuff. Come to us. Acquires the Transformers mobile phone license. They recently acquired the mobile rights to Civilization 3 from Atari. So a Transformers game may not be out of the question. I don't remember if a pre-iPhone Transformers mobile game ever happened.
I I know that I had some sort of Transformers game that was on a phone that had like a 4-way rocker.
By the way, this came from IGN Wireless.
It's an entirely dead site.
It's not just a dead site. Server not found.
Yeah, Jipe. There was a G1, like it was G1 Tactics. It was like a grid-based.
Oh, yeah.
Thing, and it was like you could, if you were a vehicle, you moved a lot faster, but you couldn't attack or something.
Was that by Come To Us, or was that by someone else?
I don't remember who it was by. I don't. Like I'm having like 2 neurons in the lower left quadrant, like slightly sparking a little bit.
Yeah, Beanie. I remember there was a movie related mobile game, but I'm remembering this G1 Tactics one too, because I remember I didn't have a phone that could run it, and I was bummed out.
It's definitely in the era of time where you could pay like $3 to download a ringtone type of game.
By the way, Pop Culture Puka with a bunch of, I guess, first-in-hand photo galleries of some Galaxy Force stuff. Alternator's Wind Charger is out in the UK. Big thanks to a bunch of people. Case assortments from Mega Wave 5 and 6 of Energon. David K. interview.
Such a sweet size class.
Yeah, I like Mega. That was a good time. So there's an interview up on Toon Zone. That just goes to their homepage. More about the Blitzwing reissue. Joe Ng and Alex Milne confirmed for TFCon 2005 appearance. The lead artist from War Within Volume 3 and the lead artist from Transformers Energon, or as we later find out, also maybe kind of the lead artist for a few other books. They were at the Dreamwave Q&A. I wonder how that went. That had to be a spicy Q&A. Like that had to be...
Yeah. That's what... Was Evan doing all the video in every panel at this point?
It is recorded. I'm almost certain it's recorded. I wonder if it's out there.
I'll reach out to him and say like, hey,
yeah,
you got some 2005 panels.
We're curious about that Dreamwave one. Got some Galaxy Force clips. We got no 1.5s, but clip 8 is 1.0 of God's own megabytes. That is still floppy disk compatible, I believe. What? Were floppies 2 megabytes, or am I misremembering?
So you're probably asking about the 3.5, not 5.25.
No one ever talked. No, I've given up on 5. I used to think those made more sense as being called floppies because they were physically floppy. But
yeah, they're physically floppy. Well, like you started at 8-inch discs.
Yeah,
and those were big. But once you got down to 3.5.
Valkaisis is saying 1.44. That sounds familiar.
1.44. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's the only. Well, that and the trailer. Those are the 2 clips you could fit onto. Well, no, you had to pick one, but those are the 2 clips that you could choose to put onto your floppy disk that you keep your 2005 Galaxy Force episode clips on. Let's get some magazine scans. January 22, 2005, Don Murphy posted he has received the very first draft for the Transformers movie script. See his post here. Aaron, is it safe? Should I be clicking through that thing?
So that doesn't work for all of the Don Murphy stuff. I've had to go through archive.org.
Oh, okay.
And that'll get it.
Long River Valley. Hearing this as I stare at my 4 terabyte external drive the size of an area of a credit card is crazy. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
The aughts were a good time for tech. They were a great time for tech.
Archive.org is slowly loading it. No. Okay, first scan doesn't hit. Try it again.
Bunch of custom master stuff, by the way. Does any of this work?
Yeah, it is not loading that one up.
CustomMasters.com is for sale for $5,495, so none of these links will work inherently.
Yeah, that link isn't working through archive.org. Ah, dang it, I closed it. Not.
By the way, on the 23rd of January, P Prime shared pictures of the first Alternators knockoff, which was a $5 knockoff of Alternators Hound. You can see the pics by clicking the title. Where are the pictures? None of these look like Hound? These look like Age of the Primes. Oh, G1 Awakening was originally released pre-iOS on traditional phones. I remember that name, G1 Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
Got some... Okay, in the alternate chat. Let me go take a look. Oh, yes. I remember this.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I drag these into here? Yeah, here you go. And then the iOS version. Or one or the other. Now I forgot which one's which, but yeah, here I remember this imagery.
Yeah, no, it's that second one because that's what the layout of your flip phones or whatever were.
Yeah, right. Oh, and this has all the touch buttons now. And like the pause button on the
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if a ROM of this is like floating around somewhere. Episode 3, Prime Directive. KO all enemies. That's cool. But yeah, there was a big custom Masters update, but that website is for sale now. Magazine info. This is revealing the existence of the other convoys. The Armada remolds with with Long Rack and I was about to say the Beast character. It really was just Long Rack for the most part, but the Armada remolds that had the Force chip gimmicks worked in. Timu saying, speaking of Drew Ido, one of the PDFs has amazing art made by Guido Guidi with colors by Drew Iden depicting Sentinel Maximus. I somewhat remember him working on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Galaxy Force website is updated. Bill's Toys and Games info update. Devil's Due lands the Transformers light. Oh, I don't remember this. As we all know, Dreamwave has gone belly up. There's a rumor that Don Figueroa had signed a deal with Devil's Due. Rich Johnston of Lying in the Gutters fame is reporting Devil's Due has landed the Transformers license and Josh Blaylock will be writing the series. I don't think that happened. I know that they had their crossover books when they had the G.I. Joe license.
Yeah, I wonder if this is just other bits of the crossover. Like Don Figueroa had signed with Devil's Due, and Devil's Due had the crossover. Therefore, they've got the crossover, and Don Figueroa is there. You know what that means, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
Actually, what it means.
Aaron, we need to do another archive.org dive. The first dialogue, the first spoken line from the Transformers movie revealed to the public was posted by Don Murphy, and apparently it's a Transformers line. I want to know what the line was.
Oh shit, what are we gonna do now?
That didn't happen in the... also, a Transformer didn't say that.
Wayback Machine does not like that.
No! I want to know who it was! Hang on, can I...
If you've got a membership to the Don Murphy board, it might let you sign in.
I don't have a membership to the Don Murphy board. I'm going to try to do some friggin'... I'm old-style Google searching.
What?
Oh, no, I can't... Because you look for Transformers script, it starts... You know those sites that just post the closed captions off a movie and say, here's the script? This is August. This is the Transformers live-action movie blog. This is from August 2006. So is there anything from this blog only has no? Okay. This blog didn't exist until July 2005. Damn it. I want to know what the dialogue was, because I wanted to know. Yeah, I wanted to know if it was going to be like that wasn't in the movie. Oh man, I want to know if it was just like a Transformer going like, "It's a good thing that we all look like we did in G1."
Yeah.
Anyway, desktop wallpapers. Them funny robots, number 75. What happens when a Sharkticon tries to collect on a debt owed by Sideways and Cyclonus? Find out from our very own Buzzbeak Seth Buzzard.
I mean, I might be... I found them before. Because we still have Transformers funnies.
That's number 75. So if we do want to feature it...
I typed TH in the search and it filled out them funny robots.
Let's see if we have anything else juicy coming. Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever. If Seth cared, he'd archive him better.
Yeah, Seth, what's it? Get on it. Pet shop. No, trans people deserve plenty of rights. They deserve possibly more rights than I do, because I'm dripping with them. So I want to, if I could share more, I would, but I'm in the wrong country. For the folks who are at the most risk right now. We're lazy. A prime example. Oh, pet shop. Oh, you're one of those. Never mind.
Yeah, goodbye.
Leave forever.
Remove.
And hidden from channel. Pet shop will not be darkening any doorsteps again unless they put in the time to make a brand new YouTube account, in which case we'll click the button again. That takes less time than making a brand new YouTube account by at least a few seconds. All right, prime example. Concept artist Eric Chu.
Wrong place to pick that fight, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, have you ever heard the tale of Don Quixote? Because Don Quixote had more quality of character than whoever the hell that was. Oh, if you didn't even see it, I was in live chat, so maybe it didn't even make it to top chat. But yeah, Robo Lorkeeper, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're... asymmetrical fanfare.
Yeah.
Oh, it did. Yeah, so it showed me message deleted by Axsmith, but that was right after I clicked hide user from channel. Now it changed to message so we both deleted him.
Yeah.
Anyway, concept artist Eric Chu from Battlestar Galactica recently produced a short film featuring Optimus Prime, attracted the interest of Hasbro and Tom DeSanto, producer of the upcoming movie. I don't remember any of this.
Is this one of those dancing sound waves that got shared 11,000 times? They're like, no, we've already seen Soundwave dance. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this goes to Galactica TV, which is a website that doesn't seem to exist anymore. I'm assuming it was a Battlestar Galactica fan site.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a concept artist from it, so like it. Who knows? Let's see.
I know there's a lot of fans of 2000s Battlestar Galactica. I actually entirely missed it. I still have never seen it. I know it's, beloved.
It's good if you've got like, hey, I've got a little bit of attention to pay to something. It's nice little sci-fi show.
I have the whole first season on HD DVD because it cost me like $10. But that's about it.
You'd have to get some sort of device to play HD DVD.
I have one.
Internet Archive. Oh, you do?
Back in my mom's place,
okay.
I was able to get an HD DVD player on sale when I needed a DVD player. It was like the same price, so I was just like, okay, so I can play HD DVDs.
High resolution version, low resolution. Okay, will these load the .movs? Because I can get to the site that just has No, I think Galactica TV is just a fan thing because it
Yeah.
is directly that language. Recently produced a short film featuring Optimus Prime, which is attracted the interest of Hasbro and Tom DeSanto, producer of the upcoming Transformers movie.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Ronnie, I try not to think about the disc rot that has probably obliterated most of my home video collection out west. I need to check a bunch of them still.
It's why I've backed up everything I have, and it's sitting on a little server.
Every time I visit my mom, I go there thinking, this time I'll go through, check, and rip the discs. But then it just end up being too busy.
Just get handbrake and spend a few months going through your whole DVD collection between your laptop, your buddy's laptop, and a desktop computer that's also running a rudimentary home theater system.
Also, I don't know how I would rip an HD DVD now that I'm thinking about it.
It's all the same. You just tell Handbrake, hey, turn this into an image.
Can I just put it? Well, can I put an HD DVD into just a regular DVD drive? To do that?
You need to be an HD DVD, but
Yeah, that's the thing. I only have a player.
if you've got a player, you could do 1-to-1. You could
Well, yeah.
connect it and just like hit play and record.
At that point, I might as.
Maybe
At that point, I don't know that it's worth it.
you're getting it at the. For any governmental agents that are watching, he's just using it as a backup purpose. He would never go.
In fact, literally. With
a skull and crossbones.
But yeah, no, I know, Ruby. I should be doing it. It's just like, I can only do it when I go to visit my mom. I'm visiting her at the end of next month, so if the rot could just wait a little
those
bit
are
longer.
screenshots there, Griff, man. Yeah, that's
Oh,
a thing.
I remember this. Okay, yeah, I remember this. Hang on, I'll bring these up. I remember this now. I've seen this. This is not really indicative of anything. This is just a very cute thing. But yeah, it was like a guy going like, "I sell used cars," and then like this Optimus like gets up in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. What joy! What joy! And yeah, there's the truck. Okay, yeah, other people are remembering this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what this was. Thanks to Napoleon Jr., we got Energon McDonald's Transformers showing up in Mexico. Show off your customs. Confirmed! Don Figueroa signs an exclusive deal with Devil's Due. So, what is this? Okay, colorist Sundar Raj, pencilers Stefano Caselli, and Don Figueroa are joining artist Tim Seeley as the company's exclusive art talent. That doesn't mean they got Transformers, though. Caselli's work includes runs on Vampirella, Micronauts, Hack Slash, G.I. Joe, Master and Apprentice, and a regular stint illustrating for Playboy Italy, specifically.
Yeah. Because in Italy they're something different for Playboy. I don't know where that was starting to go, and my brain just didn't catch up because I know this isn't quite as PG as the podcast is. My brain still went, hold on there, bud.
And yeah, two of them are currently artists for Devil's Due Publishing's Aftermath title Defects, written by Marv Wolfman. Stacked resume, holy moly. Yeah, the Devil's Due had some stuff going on. I was just so tunnel vision on Transformers, I didn't look at it very much back in the day. Energon Quick Strike, one of the last Energon figures, thanks to Bill from Bill's Toys and Games. We got some Armada.com listings from other online shops with, this is statues, Armada, the 6-changer combiner, or 6 Micromaster combiner. The Collectors Club magazine is arriving now. Weird Wolf has provided a breakdown of its contents. I remember this is how we used to do it. Is someone would just write out everything that was in the magazine. Most of the Master Collector mag is G.I. Joe and doll stuff. There's a 16-page full-color insert, which was the actual club magazine. Letter of address from Brian Savage to the members and prospective members of the... because it's the free one. Interview with the new director of marketing for Transformers, Greg Lombardo, the beginning of
That's
an
a
era.
name.
Greg Lombardo, legendarily the guy who actually enacted upon "Please do not take photos of our slides." I remember the time Greg Lombardo, he was just like staring at the crowd suddenly while other people were talking, just got up, walked out into the crowd up to someone who had a little camera hidden in their jacket and went like, "Give me the camera."
Yeah.
Deleted the photos, gave the camera back to the guy, walked back up to the panel seating. It was hardcore. I was like, no, okay, I like this guy. He's just Carl Hartman article on G1 Mini Spies. As a preview of Energon Barricade. Continuation of a Simon Furman interview. Review of Alternator's Wind Charger by Rick Alvarez. And then a comic. This was us discovering that Master Collector is a rag. That we're just after the meat inside that is wrapped within. Toy Fair UK, confirmation on future Alternator police car. This is after the UK had alternators no longer being for sale, I think. This is the exclusive combiner information debut. It'll be an existing tool, so that was us going like, okay, it's Energon combiners. Future ones will have slight retoolings. I can't remember. What I remember is I think they had like slightly new heads, but the nature of the translucent plastic meant you could barely tell that they had new heads.
Yeah, and they had small heads in the first place.
Yeah.
Because these are the Energon combiners that have to be, like, each of them has to be, Scramble City style. So it's a vehicle, and it's a robot, and it's an arm, and it's a leg. And it had its plastic piece that had to also be a foot and a hand. And so you had a small head box.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only, like, the combined head that had the drastically different head.
And yeah, Heatwave.
Like, oh wow, because it had like an X-shaped head or something. Weird.
Heatwave still had the old barricade head, if I remember right, like with the because Heatwave had a new combiner head. That's what it was. The Nexus. Yeah. The Nexus Maximus head was brand new. Ancient hand foot gun. Yeah, basically. Also.
And you need to say Transformers Nexus Maximus.
I refuse. People can look it up. Wink. This is, by the way, from a member of the advisory board. Pete Sinclair came by to answer some questions. Now that time has passed, I can tell that Pete is responding to people saying, what the hell is this Master Collector thing? As far as TF content goes, the newsletter is the main source of TF content, not the Master. Consider the Master Collector magazine a bonus. We'll have TF related ads and so forth, but the amount of those in each issue will depend on all of the members that submit their free 30-word ad. So if you don't think there's enough Transformers content in our classified ads, really that's your fault for not submitting your free 30-word ad.
30 you get to pick 30 words to go in the ad section. You could pay for more. Like you could get like they had, because like Big Bad was always like the back of it or something. Mm-hmm. With the splash of what was coming up in the next month for Transformers and G.I. Joe in color, because there were like front 2, back 2 pages like that. That was the better newsprint that wasn't pure newspaper print. That was like the slightly better newspaper paper that was full color, and then everything else on the inside was like your college free newspaper paper. Yeah, and 1 or 2 color print.
And remember
I really
that link.
I'm trying to think if I can be sure of where a copy of Master Collector is to go and run and grab one.
So I want to make sure I still have that Transformers Club. Yeah, here we go. That link, by the way, if you do want to submit your free ad to Master Collector, that link is right here in the text chat. You can use that to submit as many ads as you like. It will never give you an error message. I have no idea.
Except for when it gives you the monster error message because you hit the wrong one.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, that form still seems to do something. I'm curious where it goes, if anywhere. Maybe nowhere. Retro Robot Radio. I used to run the Amiga Decade website, which had 10-year-old news re-reported each month. That sounds like a good time. I guess we're not really reporting so much as we are excavating this stuff. TFCon 2005 has free Friday night events, customizing panel, the trivia contest, and fan discussion. I wonder what the TFCon fan discussion panel is.
These are still Transformers Con. This isn't TFCon yet.
It says right here, TFCon fan discussion panel.
I guess that is, yeah.
Mixed messaging, Colin.
Yeah,
What?
Come on, man. Thought you were better than that.
What's your branding?
I just know because I clicked on the last Transformers Con link and it's still the dead page. Or the Transformers Confluence page where you can totally buy things and not get super hyper scammed.
Yeah. Absolutely no scams going on. Robot Master site up. Here we go. Finally, John Rogers has posted on his blog, on his kfmonkey.blogspot.com, about the Transformers
oh my God, that
movie
page
script.
still works.
Oh yeah, it's a blog spot. Those things don't go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, about the upcoming Transformers live-action movie in January 2005, here's some facts about the movie. Name your favorites. They're in there. Big robot fights. Robot versus robot mano a mano. Robots versus robots plural havoc. Humans versus robots. Robots versus cybernetically enhanced rabbits. Cybernetically enhanced rabbits versus butler ninjas. But oh wait, sorry, different project, but most of that is true. No cute kid sidekicks. Then what do you call Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. But no, that whole link has, I've turned in a draft. We had a meeting yesterday, hence the light blogging, with all the producers. All are in a good mood over where the first draft landed. I was particularly pleased that Tom DeSanto has always been the guy writing the Transformers or full characters. Wagon is happy with where we wound up in these early days. All have questions which need answering and will be answered in what is acceptably called a producer's pass, which is really the free because my guild has no stones and why didn't we strike pass. That's a feeling. Then we'll continue to tweak as we meet with directors, or I'll be fired and you'll have to hump over to Dean Gregorius or Ferris and Canto's blog.
His guild hasn't struck yet because it's 2005. That's right. We're still a couple years away from that.
So Alfie did me a solid in messaging here and found 4 copies of Master Collector.
Oh, hell yeah.
August 2005, May 2005, April 2005, February 2005, which I believe are the ones with yes, I think these are the ones that these are the ones that I kept because it was the ones that had the inserts to it. And yeah, it is totally, the outer page is on these first ones are 2-color print, blue and black. And yeah, it is totally, first is a huge splash page of Master Collections Auctions Extreme because they wanted to have the website. And then, yeah, newsprint for action figures, animals, plastic, Anna Lee, antique dolls, other artist dolls, Barbie. I'm just reading off header columns.
Weren't the staples on those also the staples in the Transformers book inside?
Yep.
It was a shared staple, right?
For the comic, they are shared staples.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I left the comic book in, because you end up with a giant space of everything.
I remember I just ripped them out.
Half of Barbie, book collectibles, clothes, dolls, and then like half-page ads of Good Stuff to Go LLC. Brian's Toys, Bill's Toys and Games has got a quarter page in dolls. Other Joe Galleria, Joe Depot, Small Joe's. Yeah, man, this is a.
I need to call out, by the way, because who was it? Long was here said first comment below that blog post. You can't see all of it, so let me pull up because it's what you can see right now is someone replying to that blog post from 2005 by saying no spike and spark plug, sob, good luck anyway. There's another line.
Yeah.
Just,
I just had to scroll down for that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look
Yeah.
here.
There is a healthy amount of Transformer stuff. There's like 1, 2, 3, like 4 or 5 maybe full columns of Transformer stuff. That is all like
Wow.
animation cells wanted, looking for production cells from G1 Transformers TV show, and then somebody's email address. Beast Wars machines, Beast all figures for sale, email for a full list, and then an email address. But oddly kerned, spaced out because it's a long email address, and so they didn't do anything smart with it. Looking to buy, looking to sell. Okay, everyone, I have a ton of RID robots in disguise and Armada, and a few Energon figures. And all there is over 50 figures, all complete but no packaging. I'm selling them as one bundle at an asking cost of $120. Email me for more details, such as a list.
I'm glancing through the blog post comments in here. This is some 2000s ass stuff.
Yeah. Oh, anybody could submit a free 30-word ad online at mastercollector.com. So it wasn't like you even got something special.
I thought that was supposed to be for the members.
No. Oh, and then another full page, exactly the same copy. It's here, really? No, but the programmers are still working. Over a year in the making, in final testing now. All the online and auctions and ads I want for $5 a month? You've got to be kidding. No, we're not. And new service from Master Collector. Master Collector Auctions Extreme. MCAX.com.
Well, damn, I hope that lasts for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And then the back half of it is, the back 3 or 4 pages is a bunch of locations for toy shows and whatever, and then a paper version of a 30-word ad if you'd like for free, and then paid up to 60 words.
Hey, Aaron, I just got to cut in. I found a wild. This is a perfect comment from the year 2005 about the Transformers movie. Quote: "Huge hopes for this. Got to be a good translation, like X-Man, but better. Can't show them walking, too difficult. Gotta have Ravage and Soundwave's voice must be identical to the cartoon. Careful with the music, though. The cartoon movie was offensive with the lame guitar rock. Give me the simple cartoon scores. I'm taking this way too serious. I need to get a grip. Could be the best movie ever, could easily be the worst."
Sure. Those are words.
I've never seen someone who said the 86 movie screwed up the music. It should all have been like the cartoon. That's a brand new take to me. It took 20 years for me to finally hear this take. My world has been changed. And yeah, Ruby, I also wonder if he ever got a grip. Identical to the cartoon, have Ravage talk. Oh yeah, Aaron, you are incredibly far from your microphone right now.
Yeah, sorry. I was moving back away so that I could handle these master collectors.
Yeah. But yeah, in the year 2005, there was someone who was just like, don't make it sound like that stupid 1986 movie. Make it sound like the 1984-85 cartoon only.
Yeah, that's better. Here, I had to roll back in order to take a picture that I'm also putting in the alternate chat and kind of used as a come on, phone, be cool, phone Discord.
I'm looking for
Where
it.
You like this? Where you like this phone Discord?
Okay,
I also responded to you on Blue Sky with it.
Alternate chat is a little easier for me to just drag in.
Yep. It should be there now.
There it
maybe.
is. Wait, you're at. Oh wait, no, that's an old address, so it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's like
okay,
2-3 addresses ago.
I just had. You know what though? Pat myself on the back. My senses activated the moment I saw it. And I was like, "What?"
Good catch. I had seen it, and yeah, that's 2 or 3 addresses ago.
Anyway, yeah, but don't look at it though. Just don't be. You should all have good senses about this too. To not go address, you know, like don't. No.
Whatever. It was a shitty landlord at the end where it was a 4-unit apartment, and guy's dad bought the building for his son. His son lived in apartment 1 and managed the rest of the apartments while he was going to school, and then suddenly wanted us to raise the rent by about a third, which the other 3 people of us in the building that knew each other was like, I wonder why all of our rents are going up by a third to fill out the 4th group. Okay, we're going somewhere else now.
We got a lot of concern for that commenter on that blog post. We got, hope they're doing okay 20 years later. Fishformer saying, I wish we could learn what this guy is doing now and what his current thoughts are. I also would like, because his name on that blog, you saw, was anonymous. No signature. Just there's someone out there.
Yeah.
Those are some cursed dolls. Yes.
Yes.
Also, this font with this drop shadow,
so
far away from the text, is driving me up the wall.
Graphic design is a passion,
but as a passion not present here on Master Collector. I like how it's alphabetical too. Transformers right under Toys Other.
Yeah. Since we're going to continue doing this for alternate chat, here's the in there now should be the full page ad that's in a couple of places.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. I didn't know the font was doing all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Extreme with an X! Oh my god!
Yeah.
That wasn't cool in 2000!
And then there's just a random page, the beginning of the Transformers page. And again, there's a bunch of old email addresses on there, people's actual physical addresses, but hey, it's in a 20-year-old rag.
Yeah, MC Axe, Macax. I like that of all these things, it's like the one period, which implies that there's a lot of gravitas to that sentence is, no, we're not. It's here, really? No, but the programmers are still working. Over a year in the making and final testing now. All the online auctions and ads I want. You gotta be kidding. No, we're not. A new service.
It's hilarious because... So I just jumped to the most recent one that Alfie pulled out of that stack for me, which is August 2005. Mm-hmm. That same whole page is the front of it. Not a thing changed.
Oh,
so this is multiple months later. Yeah, we're not going to. We're barely going to make it out of January. It seems like for this episode.
Hey,
we're a whole 8 issues later, the programmers are still working on it.
Robot Lorekeeper says a print ad for an unfinished website is a lethal amount of 2005. Yeah, that's
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, what makes the auctions extreme? Why is it not just Master Collector auctions?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, here's the Transformers page with a bunch of people's information that they volunteered to print. Oh, also you see, coming soon, macax.com.
Yeah.
GB Blackrock is on here. Oh, wow. With a printed home.earthlink.net / GB Blackrock. And hooray, a new TF club. My interest is primarily G1. Hopefully men of you are the same. Here's my email address. For sale, Minton Box, Rid, Spy Changers, Optimus, Ultra Magnus, Crosswise, Hotshot, Huge, Text Break. Why? Ironhide, Mirage, Wars, and Rev. Although in the UK I offer reasonable shipping rates. Cheers, Andy. Army of Bees. What sort of fun pub-ass energy did I walk into here? Should I leave? Did it peak? Hey, Bees.
Yeah.
Listen,
this is the beginning.
It's here.
This is the beginning.
Bees, it's here. And I know what you're saying. Really? No, but the programmers are still working. Over a year in the making and final testing now. And Bees, I know what you're saying. All the online auctions and ads I want for $5 a month? You gotta be kidding, Bees. No, we're not. A new service from Master Collector. Master Collection Auctions Extreme. Macax.com.
So, for fun, I went ahead and dropped MCAX into our Wayback Machine here.
Okay.
AccuFind Internet Services is the first thing in 2005 that it's caught. The next time it was scanned was mid-2006. Pulling it up now. AccuFind Internet Services.
2006!
2010 is the next time the site is scanned. Mid-May in 2010. Let's see what that one says. AccuFind Internet Services specializes in the development and hosting of commercial websites.
Oh no! The programmers were never actually found!
It peaks in 2012 with actual things. At the beginning of 2012. And it just goes to auction.cfm. Let's try maybe one down here. A little bit later. No. Sorry for this being lame, but I saw that when I took a look at it, there was a big spike at the beginning of 2012. Under construction. Just a generic, this web page is under construction page. Yeah. I'm not sure it ever got off the ground.
That's over a year in the making, okay?
Mm-hmm. I remember the chatter about the reason why I'm hitting this one so hard is because I remember the chatter about it. Because everybody got frustrated with eBay because it charges you to make the listing and then it charges you to do other things and then it charges you at the end. And yeah, the 2016 times it looks like it's just it forwards to like JoeCon stuff. Check out the 2015 Hasbro Comic-Con exclusives. Yeah, it just becomes Master Collector Online. No auctions.
But it says right there, coming soon, macaques.com.
Yeah. Yep. Macaques just becomes a redirect to Master Collector Online. It's got classifieds, but you have to be able to log in.
I do want to read one of these. This classified is really catching my eye. It says, "Okay, everyone, I have a ton of Rid robots in disguise and Armada and a few Energon figures, and all there is over 50 figures, all complete but no packaging. I'm selling them as one bundle at an asking cost of $120. Do you read that one?
Yeah, I read that one.
Okay.
That might have been one of my distant away because I wasn't up towards my keyboard. I was off to the side.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope Mikey will do it 26 at netscape.net is doing well. And I hope that King Rampage at hotmail.com found that Skull Cruncher tail, either by buying it or trading for it. Also, pedal cars.
But yes, this is what your club membership got you, with a half-size comic stapled in the middle of it.
Yeah, sorry, pedal car graphics specifically. But yeah, as was pointed out in the chat, the blog comments on Kung Fu Monkey's blog, some of these are absolute, like, just the dregs of the 2005 internet. Absolute garbage in these comments. Bees, when I was joking, this was a fun pub thing. Oh, Bees.
Yeah, Bees, you gotta roll back to earlier when you get the chance, because yeah. This was the
Bees. Wait, did
Club
you miss
magazine, my brother?
Did you miss that you could go to transformers.com/free ad right now and submit your free ad, and this doesn't throw you any errors? Every single form submission page on that website still seems to just do stuff. Hang on, Bees, let me show you something. Let me show you a cool magic trick. Click this. Let me show you a really cool magic trick. Because I want to become a member of the club. Oh, that doesn't work anymore? The hell? That's fine. Hang on. Let me show you a cool trick. So, Bees, let's say that you want to sign up as a first-class male American member of the Transformers Collectors Club. Now, I want to make sure you're here. I know you just got home, but this is really important because if you don't follow this information, you won't be able to join the Transformers Official Collectors Club for the low cost of $62 per year. Now, you could go third-class male for $40 per year if you want to be some kind of, like, scummy, lowbrow chump.
I'm pretty sure that's what I was, because it was like a 3-day, 4-day difference in getting the mail. But, again, as we were talking before, you could only, like, talk about what was in it without having people get very upset about you sharing confidential information. Because not everybody had the opportunity to get the magazine yet, so don't be putting that up on the websites for people to just go with it.
Now, Bees, I know what you're asking. Why is my country Canada? Well, none of us know, but that's what it autofills in this text field for country, located right below this drop-down field, also for country. So right now, you are from Abu Dhabi, Canada. A country located on planet Earth, and it's already doxed you, because we all know Bees' real first name is Cookie.firstname, and you're using the MasterCard, so in the comments you could say, I am an army made out of bees, please respect me. So Bees, I think this is all ready to go, so unless you want me to put something else in here, I can finalize your membership application right here live online. Like, I'm pretty sure this is all your information, right? Like... Oh, wait, I gotta put your card number in.
No spaces or dashes.
Right, sorry. $1 million. Sorry, that's not your... Sorry. A BAT credit card. Card holder. Bruce Wayne the Batman. So now that I put B's real information in here, which can be confirmed, I'm going to finalize B's membership application. And B's, happy birthday! You're now a member of the Transformers Collectors Club. Check it out. Oh, wait. First, we got a chance to make some changes. Do I need to make any changes or just process your order?
This is that wonderful classic. They never trusted you to actually put your own information in. That's why you had to have your colored piece of paper when you got in line at BotCon to pick up your stuff.
Processing
because somebody one time misspelled their name.
So Bees, as you can see, your order has been processed. It says right now, ignore the part up here that says there was some kind of error, because if we scroll down, you can see this is to confirm the receipt of your order for your membership. We hope you will be pleased with your membership. A copy of this has been sent to you. Oh yeah, YouTube automatically censors credit card numbers and social insurance numbers by template. So you can't even put joke ones in. Shia, can you put me in the Collectors Club too? Shia, you listen. You have to earn your own things, okay? I can't just get you a membership. Like, I only had the one. Like, if you want to sign up for a membership for this, you have to go to transformersclub.com/membership.cfm and do it yourself. By the way, don't put your real information in here. Don't put your credit card info in here. It is a text field. We don't know where this goes. But Bees, just wanted to catch you up on that. We've got some Cybertron info from another print magazine, Lee's Toy Review, number 148, where Greg Lombardo had a bunch of information about how there will be a show, the summer release, confirming Basics through Supremes will return. The 4 ships are called Cyber Planet Keys. The Autobots and Decepticons are on a scavenger hunt due to an Energon crisis on Cybertron. Because I think this is still where they hadn't quite hashed out that the anime studio did not care about the trilogy side of things and just put a black hole in there instead. These were a bunch of the names of characters in the first wave. Zero, somewhere some web developer's getting a bunch of notifications and is very confused. I mean, I hope that we can...
I bet they're not. I bet it's going to a unmonitored address, or as was said earlier, some grandma in a church basement Saturday afternoon as she's getting ready for Sunday church is going to be wondering why the bot cons are sending me messages about robots.
Have a good night, Optimus Prime. And yeah, Valkyce is saying that wasn't even HTTPS. Correct. I'm a force chip truther. Force chip is easier to shout, I think. But also because they said ignition. If they said Cyberplanet key ignition, I would have been more into it, but we got force chip ignition, so that they bribed me. Yeah, the advertisement request is definitely going somewhere, though. Whether the email address still exists, who knows? Next alternator to be a remold of Wind Charger / Overdrive. Apparently the color of the prototype in question is yellow. I can't remember. Oh, Decepticharge. It was Decepticharge. Okay.
Yep.
Zero saying Chrome didn't mandate HTTPS until 2017. Galaxy Force Episode 4 is online with some clips. Next alternator is Dragstrip. Nope. BotCon.com update. Now that the Hartmans are part of the production of the official Transformers Collectors Club and Convention as advisory board members, they have updated BotCon.com. They inform fans that they are no longer producing a standalone convention. I wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Read all about it on... Okay, that's not going to work. This is the HBS-01 Galaxy Convoy. This is the hybrid style, I believe, which is a toy I still have never owned. I always kind of wanted to pick one up. The little one with the fancy pants hand swaps and stuff. It's a Yojo.com interview with Devil's Due president owner Josh Blaylock about major shakeups in the G.I. Joe series. He gives a little insight as to how they would handle the Transformers license should they ever obtain it. However, we know that they won't. Read the full interview starting here. Trans fans can find the Transformers talk here. It's Yojo.com. That might work.
I didn't even try that one.
Not found. Never mind. Okay, we're on my just a little under the curtain thing here. My personal track for this was I would like it if we made it through a month before 3 hours elapsed, and we are about to do that. So we're still good, and that is with massive
what
tangents.
I was paying attention to, with a couple of pretty solid tangents,
like multiple
and actual physical reproductions back to 2005.
Yeah, these were some massive tangents that we were going on. So we're still good. Hybrid style, another Takara line to get as many entries as MP Brave. Yeah. It bums me out because I have the hybrid style G1 convoy, who I also still like, but I someday I really would like to get inexpensively hybrid style Galaxy convoy. What is this? Repro Labels custom sticker sheet contest. Face, if you're still here, is this the contest you won? Or am I thinking of someone else? I don't know if Face is still in here. This was custom sticker sheet. Submit it via Photoshop, toy image, or scanned artwork. And if you win, your idea will be transformed into a pre-cut sticker set. I feel like I know someone who did this. I feel like it was Face, but I might be wrong. Face left to watch Andor. Okay. Someone clip this.
I can understand.
Yeah. Someone clip this, please, if you're able, and then send it to Face, because I want to know. Got some Galaxy Force info from fan to fan. Headmaster Hardhead stickers on reprolabels.com. Aaron, do you understand Door? Passing that along from Robot Lorekeeper. Just making sure.
Yeah, I was saying I get it. I didn't think about this overlapping with the Andor premiere time because those first three that dropped. a little tangent again. I always feel cautiously nervous maybe when a series is like, hey, we're dropping the first 3 episodes all at once, and it's like, are you doing this because it's really good and you really want to get it out there, or are you doing it because it's like, we're contractually obligated to release these, and the quicker it's done, the quicker it's done, right? And I feel like those first 3 episodes of Andor were very good. And then the number of people that were like, bro, this feels like it's an attack on modern things. It's like, first off, they clearly filmed these not in the last 100 days because timescales don't work that way. Secondly,
imagine if you could do that, though.
Yeah.
Just turn around a TV series in 100 days.
Yeah. It wasn't South Park very classically. They did it within a week.
Well, they're South
but
Park.
That's
is
entirely different.
Yeah, they're. I dare say that perhaps that resulted in some levels of autopilot that affect the quality of South Park, the production.
Yeah. But then also all the political stuff that you don't talk about on TFW. Even though we're looking at TFW, you don't talk about politics stuff on TFW.
Because Star Wars has never touched on the topic of trade wars before.
Yeah.
Yeah, no politics in the thread. No politics in the thread.
Yeah.
By the way, I think it's still in editing, but just so you all know, I'm not the one who dropped the tariffs on the next episode. I'm not the one who went like blah 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 tariffs, haha, no politics in the thread. Friggin', I'm not the one.
Yeah, who would do that?
After I was the one who was going like, hey guys, just feel free if you, because what we can say no politics in the thread. We've done it many times. Whatever. Who's good? Like whatever. We talk about what we want. And then friggin' I'm sitting there going like, oh, I wonder if I could throw a clever little quip out there. And then someone else, one of the other hosts, friggin' just throws one out there.
Yeah.
So I just want everyone to know I'm innocent. I'm a good little podcast host. We're Aladdin air horn, yeah. No, Bees, I call it out when it happens too, because I was like, I think I straight up said like, well, I didn't think that you were gonna be the one to say it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was a little bit salty then because TFW was trying to have a discussion about it, but only when moderators could be actively staring at the thread. And then it became far too much because people were going way past the boundaries that were told at the beginning of the thread. And then people were getting upset at TFW for not continuing to do that or not letting them talk politics, because that clearly means that they're in with the fascists or something.
Carito saying, Carito's caught us. Was it TJ?
Yeah.
Carito, you caught us.
Yeah. And the one thing I'll say in defense of TFW and their just please no politics stance is it's all volunteer moderators, and nobody can talk about politics for an extended period of time without it invariably turning into a garbage fire. And then you have to deal with a garbage fire. And then you have to deal with people thinking that you didn't deal with the garbage fire in the way that they would have dealt with the garbage fire. And this clearly means that you are either a pinko commie or a fascist or anything else. And it's all just a bunch of volunteers that instead of doing work or being with their families are dealing with man babies on a website.
And I got a solution for them. Clear it all out, bring in a team of mods who are eager, and then just make TFW progressive. Just tonal shift the entire message board. That will solve everything. Because when the problem is nobody here can conduct themselves, but that's been the problem for like 15 to 20 years, fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then fix it. In my opinion.
Yeah.
If it's been the same problem for over a decade, then that's a fixable problem by simply flushing most of those involved. You won't miss too many of those people. Isn't most of the staff already pretty for the either progressive or like very like, you know, like I don't know, man, but like
either progressive or I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately I don't want to deal with. It starts to, in the current political landscape, starts to not help.
Yeah. It's why I write my Discord rules the way that I write them, because when you have detailed numeric rules, there is at least a decade, if not more, of knowledge share on the scummy side of the internet, how to game that stuff and weaponize it against your own user base. So, were I more... Or good.
And getting to see some of the things that were bounced out of the highly moderated tariffs talk thread is the number of people that like wanted to dance right up to that line and go, hee hee, I'm not crossing it. And then going across it. And what's interesting to me is learning that there are in fact apparently pro-tariffs toy collectors, because I've never seen that level of willing masochism in my entire life. And I watch Hellraiser movies, but this goes well beyond the Cenobites. Because you get someone who's like, this is going to be great for my hobby and my industry, and you're kind of like, I think that you're past the dude who replaced his eyeballs with hooks. And that's impressive. The problem is I think you have no self-awareness, and that's an issue. So, the way we deal with it here, in the Vangelus chat, for instance, as you saw earlier, when we get one of those people who show up, we shadow ban them and obliterate them with a particle cannon on site. I take care of my literal siblings and my family here. Like,
I think my approach is the one to do, personally. And I just put it out there, What if y'all just had particle cannons and you just went to town on the undesirables? But in 2005, I think we still had a news and politics board on TFW.
I'm trying to remember when news and politics came up and went away.
Because I know there was an era...
There were a couple of times.
There was an era where it was buried in the fuzzy world, I remember. And then I remember, at the time, I was like, what a good idea. And then after a few months, it was like, oh, this is worse, actually.
Well, it was that when the fuzzy world... so we kind of hit the end of the month, so I think we're just riffing at this point. Because the fuzzy world, I think, occasionally exists in the Friends. Was that when news and politics was under that, when it was like you had to go through 3 rounds of stuff and you got
it was very
eye blasted fuzzy
was...
world, and even then it was like, no, you guys are the supporters and inside of this place, surely you realize what this is. Why are you making us actually moderate this?
It was a frog boil. Because it was like this should be the friend. These are everyone who just hangs out at BotCon for the most part, and then it frog boiled still, and eventually it was like, nope, this still doesn't work. We still can't figure out how to make this jive with the lengthy numerical rule set. We're making a new site rules etiquette page that only says instantaneous railgun death blast in papyrus font. Yeah, it's kind of what I do with my Discord rules. I also saw Timu saying about tariffs possibly meaning more supply to outside of the USA. So I thought about that, but this is a lot of my info comes from board games people who are very open about this because they are the canary in the coal mine for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, sure.
They basically said so it's easy to come to the conclusion well, if we can't ship to the States, we'll just ship everywhere else. The problem is, according to people who do actually try to sell these products, the lack of the existence of the USA market just means that the other marketplaces potentially cease to exist as well, because they are numerically much smaller. So not being able to sell to the States means you can sell to other markets, but that's to a lower number of people than before, which means that prices still will go up to some degree, and in the case of some board games companies, to an untenable degree that they simply can't hope.
Yeah, the one that I saw, I forget who it was. It was a small board game company, but they did the math of if we say, we're from the US, we did everything in English. So even if we tried to find sales partners in the UK and Canada, Australia, New Zealand, other English-speaking areas or places that'll take other English-speaking stuff, at best we would see 1/3 of the sales that we would get from the US.
Yeah.
And then we're having to ship to regional distribution centers rather than ship it to the US, which has robust trans-shipping capabilities. We'd have to spin up new warehousing solutions in all of these places rather than the two big ones in the US to then ship back out of. And even then, I saw, I don't think it was that one, but there was another one then that was saying that basically what would happen, what would likely end up happening is the tariff adjusted prices regardless would end up floating around because that's how algorithms work.
Yeah,
it's in web pages.
In terms of a metaphor, imagine, how do I put this? It's not so much you have a liquid, right, that's now being applied to a different size container. It's more like, what if you punched a hole through the middle of the container that had the liquid in it? And now you are rapidly trying to put your bottle platelets into that hole to try to make things keep flowing, but whatever was in that hole is gone. That might have been, bottle organs that were sort of important to the bottle's biological processes. I don't know why the bottle's alive now, but yeah, yeah, it's a rough thing. There are a lot. I am citing board games not just because board games are technically a form of toy, but also because their industry is the one that suffers probably the most right now of all the hobby industries. And they have been very transparent in that industry about what's going on. I would recommend looking up also Amabel Holland's Blue Sky thread about domestic production, because her company produces all of their board games domestically. And she posted a fairly solid thread about how, speaking as an American who fully produces her own game stateside, there's probably no avenue for that to pivot to larger companies, because what she does is she puts out the equivalent of zines. Her games, I have one, Escape from Hades. It is 2 large paper maps that reek of screen printing ink in the best way, 1 deck of cards, and 3 sheets of cardboard shits. The game was $80 Canadian. And that's for that. Her point, to kind of paraphrase it, was her games sell because the wider industry exists for there to be people who would then look at niche stuff like hers. If the wider industry's gone, that doesn't mean the niche becomes the industry. It means there's nobody to even look at the niche anymore. And that's one side of the local the whole topic of domestic production has a lot of holes punched through it by a lot of people who know what they're talking about. I would even say Aaron included, with Aaron's own vocation and experiences.
Yeah, well, so like even here in town, so years back, I had somebody reach out to me from Ludofact USA, who they have a manufacturing place here in Lafayette, because one of their employees or something had seen me at one of my mini marathons for Extra Life. Extra Life is the thing that we're doing. I managed to self-donate to get myself across the line for the $100 for the board game, or for the Dice Tower. Chris has still got
doing that tomorrow.
A little
advertisement
to make that
gaming stream tomorrow.
To go for that. But they had a bunch of board games that they donated to me at one point in time, and I went in and I saw their factory, and their factory consisted of like one machine that could cut the Japanese size cards.
Yeah, for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, well, no, like the small cards for like a deck of cards.
Okay, well, there's a bunch, but yeah.
Yeah, but like the smaller, they're not like playing card size, they're not like Magic card size, but they're like the 3/4 size. But those came in as like printed stacks from somewhere. It was not like they printed those and then cut them. They got in like a pallet that was nothing but these large pieces of paper. They had a machine that would bind similar prints onto cardboard backing for puzzles, and a ancient machine that like kerchunk cut the dies out and pooped it into a plastic bag. and then they had boxes that were pre-manufactured, I think, that they put all that into. Like, there are portions of that exist around, but there's no, I would highly doubt that there is industry scale, like you put files in one side and board games poop out the other.
Oh yeah,
inside the US.
The COO of Cephalofair Games, who do Gloomhaven, among other things, said that their decade-long partnerships with several factories included those factories designing and building custom machinery to manufacture their board game parts that they need for their games.
And that's the thing that somebody way up the food chain doesn't realize the amount of, like, even assembly, if you want to say assembled in the US, the number of parts on a car that come from overseas, a helicopter that Sikorsky makes, that I'm trying to determine where that line is and stay far away from it.
War Thunder Counter! War Thunder Counter! War Thunder Counter!
Yeah. Significant parts of commercial aircraft. You look at the chains of stuff for Boeing, the number of times that even just the large assemblies bounce around the U.S., the number of parts of that you think are coming from overseas, it's insane, and for it to be broad, everything is getting this percentage number and not targeting is so dumb.
Yeah,
dumb.
and
so that I'm not just. I mean, we're doing this live, and this isn't TFW, so I could just be a string of profanities, but I don't want to put those extra miles on.
No, don't put the poison in your brain, like, you know.
Yeah, it lives there. This was just it leaking out slightly.
The inflamed poison. But and so for people in hobby industries, I've said this on Blue Sky a lot, but like, and in the Discord a lot, and here every now and then, it's a good time to try to figure out how best you can pivot your own hobby activity into a liquid state, and kind of just try to flow with whatever the hell is going on. And if you need some help, hey, I got a panel series where I apparently inadvertently talked about a whole lot of this before it happened. But it's a great time.
It is a great time to go back to stuff that you've already got on the shelves and take a new appreciation at it.
Yeah.
Play some of that Steam. All you that got a Steam library have a bunch of stuff that you've bought on a Steam sale that you've not touched. You maybe haven't even downloaded. Maybe a good time to download some of those free games.
Yeah, and maybe, also, or good.
Maybe you watch a friend play some games tomorrow, and maybe with some of that money that you have, maybe you help sick kids in Canada out. Maybe.
Also, maybe. You can buy used toys from your friends. Even keep stuff cyclical. We love filling holes in this channel. Yes, we're a hole filling channel. Long. I feel you. I had a whole budget for the year set out with a little extra for changing and shipping. Mm-hmm. Now that's probably the math is a little bit stranger and a little bit more.
Hey, you know what does real fun with your budget to take it in a different direction? Having to buy a whole new HVAC system for your house because your old one that was 3 or 4 years past its end date finally died.
Yeah,
that's rolling back a bunch of TFCon stuff for me. I'm not sure how long I'm going to get to do TFCon Chicago, and that's just up the road, not even the Toronto trip.
Yeah, and that's basically the cost of, like, at least 2 toys imported from Japan now. I will say, by the way, this is a little bit of an utter tangent, off the tangent, but like, I do apologize because this is a strange thing for me to try to, like, actually, like, how do I put this? Just sort of, it's a filter to put over my language going forward. Because I can still order things from AliExpress and Mandarake and everyone. And I am trying to, because this has never been a thing before, right? I'm trying to remember that I can't just say, oh, I got it off AliExpress, as though that's an answer for people right now. Or, oh yeah, I got off Shozi. You can get it here. Oh wait. Oh yeah, I got it as an HLJ pre-order. Oh right. Yeah. So I am. I just want to say I am actually actively trying to figure out like how to maintain a certain level of sensitivity about that, because I'm pretty sure that is a massive feel bad for a lot of people who watch things I do. And you know, in the Discord, you know, a little bit less so because we're all just chatting in there. But like, it's a thing I'm thinking about now, which is really strange. And you know, like we have to be able to learn and adjust and all that kind of stuff, like in lots of different places. And for some reason, importing toys from Asia to my home in Canada is like, I'm just having a lot of trouble like connecting the wires, because I'm like this wasn't really ever supposed to be a problem. This was supposed to be more of a problem for me. But yeah,
you know how you had cards shipped to me for reasons? I may have just whole toy line shipped to you for reasons.
Yeah, trying to like connect the dots, and we're friggin' like the fact that like this all flipped over like this, right? Like, and that's what I mean about being liquid. You just kind of have to, in my opinion, for your own mentals as best you can, you got to try to figure out a way for yourself to be able to kind of just roll and slip and slide with all this stuff in your hobby spaces, because those need to be preserved as best as possible as a source of good brain chemicals for you, even in the worst of times. Like, just try to figure out what in there can you still do and still make work, and what can you shift and change with, and then, you know, hit up maybe the panel series for some ideas. Oh, you're getting a Canadian PO box. I mean, yeah, I don't want to get super dark. There's things about that I even think could be a little bit freaky. Oma Ender, you posting the YouTubers panel. That's the next one I'm editing. I'm not sure, because I want to run it by everyone, because we always do this. Like, I'm going to ask, like, does anyone else want to be the one who posts this? So if it's not on mine, it'll go up somewhere. I'll still yell about it wherever it goes up. But that's the next panel edit I'm doing. Tombot, the panel I put up was the news dive panel, which ended with me saying, hey, let me plug my next panel I'm in, to which the joke was, it's in 9 minutes. And then as Aaron gets up, I'm just like, I'm not getting up. That next panel can come and make me leave. Take it easy, Collector K9. Hope you all didn't mind that little chat, but I'm also, low-key, I'm really happy to be able to have, you know, some productive and hopefully fun chatter about the tribulations that face our hobby and its related industries, because I like to slip them in at the end. I'm maybe spinning multiple plates, but I like to be both the place wherein you can get away from that stuff in the healthy way, not the don't talk about it way, and then still have some room to, you know, let out a little bit of venting here and there.
Cases, I take that personally.
Yeah, what's up, Aaron, you non-asshole? You anti-jerk. Everyone say nice things about Aaron. Let's bully him. Aaron, you feeling like capping it here at the start of February 05?
I figure starting February 05 probably the good spot for us to halt this one. Hopefully we can do better pace and not nearly as much with everything transitioning over to new systems at the beginning of the year.
Surely,
that is a lie. I do not have great hair. It's why I frequently am fine with shaving my head.
Oh,
Long
wow.
was here. Me being cool, okay, I'll accept that. No, my hair is rather thin, and I trying to let it grow in, but it's not right now. Handsome fella, much smart. I appreciate those. Those are good feels. Those are warm fuzzies.
I'm not going to knock on wood when I say this, because it will be funny if it happens again. There can't possibly be that many goofy websites to click on buttons through again within a month of January 2005. There can't possibly be.
I don't know. Something else will come up, and you'll want to relive the gag.
It might happen, but
yeah. Army Bees, I kicked him square in the chest and tried to sell you to a guy in a trench coat in Little Tokyo. No, first of all, that wasn't square in the... Okay, it was square in the chest. But I tried to fix your shoulder before it turned out that you'd, like, super wrecked it. So,
Ronnie Lane, maybe next time there'll be another ancient store for me to buy from. So I was thinking about you when we found that membership thing, because I know you won't, but I was like, this is like the dark version of the Energy Singers website, because it's not a thing for sale. It's just a field to put your information in. Arthritis diagnosis, dang. I mean, at least you found Appies. Ryder kicked, lucky to be alive, even true. If the if the store still existed, I would be tempted. The next stream is just going to be 4 hours of fake Collector Club signups. I mean, hey, listen, if we want to, as a community, come together and just... Because there's a good chance this is just shooting into nothing. It's just like, it's just a little, like, weird, half-alive world in a box, and we're just poking at its corpse. But, like, I want to... Boy, do I want to believe somewhere out there someone is just getting pings, and they're just like, what? Why? Because also, if they are, good odds that there's nobody left who knows how to remove pages from that website. Which would also be pretty funny.
Transformers collectors, that is probably... Ooh, I don't know who ended up with that. I don't know if that actually went with FunPub, or if that...
I think it's probably Brian's.
That's probably Brian's.
Because Night Shining, whatever, like, had its own whole thing, right?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, Ronnie, yeah, the band website directed to a PayPal storefront, right? Because this was just a text field form on a website full of hashtag cookie. Alrighty, well, Aaron, yeah, if you want to go get some rest before your next day,
yep,
then it is a pleasure, and we'll do this again.
Always. We need to wait longer than, or not wait so long,
Whoa.
or whatever. However time works, we need to do better.
We need to wait longer. No, yeah, I wanted, like, I kind of wanted to wait till I got the panel up, but also I've just been out of it since TFCon LA, like, off and on for various reasons.
So how fast do we have to get through this so that we can do 2005's panel in Toronto?
Good question. So Toronto is it's early July, right?
Yeah.
And let's see,
Yeah, I gotta go look it up again too.
2, 3.
July 11 to 13.
Oh, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Including this week, we have 10 weeks.
Oh boy.
Doable, I think. Doable.
Yeah.
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 We can pull this off. Easy
Yeah.
clap.
I still need to get tickets, actually.
I'm glad you're still able to make it. Don't tell your boarder that you brought cards for me.
What cards?
Exactly. But yeah, we're gonna try to make this happen because I think it'd be fun. It'd be fun to, because I'm not making it to Chicago unless the world changes a lot this year. But it would be fun to pull off one more, like, this year, just in time for a panel debrief of another year. But yeah, Aaron, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, take care, brother.
And have a good night. I'm going to be sticking around here a little bit longer.
Okay, well, fine. Fine. You like only woke up 4 hours before we started this, so you got plenty of energy in the tank still.
As me.
Yeah.
All right, have a good night.
Yep.
And I will exit the call so I don't get that weird Discord thing where it's like, you are exiting the call. So how are we all feeling? I'm non-committal to being having regularity, which is bad as a person who posts media on the internet, but I think it would be cool if we were able to semi-weekly do these, at least for 2005, because I feel like that's doable. A lot of it obviously depends on me, and I probably can't easily do this when I'm visiting my mom, but I keep working on solutions for that, so we'll figure something out. Visiting my mom doesn't happen until around about the time of the next Cherry Bomb Ultimate Toy Fair at the end of May. So we got time to figure those things out. Get your mom on the stream. My mom doesn't want to be on the stream. She really enjoys these, but she's what do you call it? She's got that stage fright. Like, when I have pointed at my mom when she's in the audience at a panel at a TFCon, she, like, turns bright red and goes like, "Why did you do that to me?" What's your goal to have this done versus TFCon Toronto? Well, because I'd like to do a version of the panel I just put up, but for 2005 at TFCon Toronto. So we have about 9.5 weeks to get that done. There are 11 months left. So if we do 2 months in one stream once, we're already sitting pretty. We're already like, pff, pff. But if we do it like twice, every time that we accomplish more than 1 month in a stream, even a month and a half, we're getting ahead of the curve. And so I think that's goals. That's fitness goals. Sending Chris a bringing punk to the panel room shirt. I don't know if that'll play a second time, but I was still really like, you couldn't in the panel recording. It was harder to hear and see, and you couldn't see it. But like the crowd reaction to that was really funny, very affirming to my own reaction to that statement. What sort of progress you? Okay, yeah, that's basically what I went on about. Got to avoid the new side quests. Well, here's the thing. I want to leave room for the side quests because they're fun. I genuinely think we can't possibly hit one of those every single time. I'll start knocking on wood if that happens like 4 times in a row. But for now, I'm just going to say to the universe, we can't possibly have that happen every single time. Insta 360 style camera. Well, I think, how do I put this? When it comes to like just filming the audience face on, like that's different than filming them in profile from where the usual camera is. This is just me being a softie, I guess, to some degree. I'm just like, I don't want to put that upon people to like, now you're in the, you know, like, now they can see all of you. Was there any sort of weirdness with that first FunPub BotCon? I'm sure I'll have more memories as we get closer to it. It was very, and this was, I think, by their own admission too, it was very slapdash put together. Like it was a dealer room and a panel room. The panel room was connected to the dealer room by a curtain. So it was a very small-ish feeling show. Don't want to watch the audience. No, it's Omander. It'd be for the fun little moments. Like the bringing punk back to Transformers again. There are bits of that I kind of wish we could see again. At least I could try to run by those audience members of like, can we please show you mouthing? As that Aaron, I think you remember that one person in the crowd who was like silently, but with great levels of facial animation, exclaiming about the punk thing for a good like 30 seconds. It was a show and it did not have a ball pit. Correct. I went to 4 BotCons and they all felt slapped. I mean, the 05 one felt scrappy slapdash. Slapdash non-derogatory, I guess you could say. Slapdash like you want to give them a hug. You know, you want to be like, oh, you're doing it, though. As I recall it. The main thing about that show that was huge was they just low-key went like, oh, also, we're working on a little thing in between now and that movie you all know about. And then they just showed the gray prototypes for Classics Wave 1 with, like, out of nowhere. To which I remember a lot of us were like, okay, what's the catch, though? What's the catch? What's the gimmick? What makes this not just you doing a bunch of G1 characters as toys? Like, what's the catch? And, like, at the time, and I know this is going to sound way different to all of you now, but at the time, that was massive, because generally, G1 stuff was alternators, and when they would repaint an old man character from Cybertron in cup colors, because that's relevant. But yeah, like dropping Classics Wave 1 on a slide projector in Grey Proto form, just out of nowhere, with nobody knowing about it beforehand, was wild. And that was sort of the highlight of BotCon 05 as far as, like, its, I think, grander legacy. Yeah, bees. Like, back then, like, knowing that they have the name Bumblebee was like, you what? Because that was, like, 4 years, at least, of knowing that we don't have the name Bumblebee. That's why he's called Hotshot. Aaron, the first year or two of the On-the-Fly shows kind of set the tone, made that level the baseline, let them skate in other years. Yeah, it kind of... Yeah, it was sort of... They buttoned up their cufflinks where they could, but I always felt like the jacket was sort of flapping, and the shirt was always just very slightly untucked, but just tucked enough to kind of annoy you, because you're like, okay, I know what you're trying to do, and you're looking at me because I'm not tucking my shirt, but like I can see the fold on yours. Yeah, the implication the movie might also have Bumblebee. Yeah, this is sort of the crux of the news dive tonally, right? Is like there are things that there are notions now that are tired that back then were not just exciting but also at some points like unbelievable. Like, you can't do this though anymore. Like, that's impossible. Having Bumblebee is pretty G1, yeah. Cheesier, I used to hear classics of filler lines as the movie got delayed. Asked Aaron Archer about that. He said it wasn't true. Yeah, I think that the notion of it being a pure filler line was not the case. I think that in the eyes of some, it probably could be seen easily as a sort of filler line, but I think that filler versus, like, occupying space for the sake of life is, like, sort of a different thing. Have a good night, Griff. Yeah, shout out to Aaron Archer for almost quitting if they lost Megatron's name. That's a thing we learned back in the 03 streams. But yeah, like there's language, I think, around that stuff that had a level of inaccuracy. But like my understanding at least was like Classics stuff. I mean, obviously Classic stuff greatly resembles the Cybertron end of the Unicron trilogy. But also the procession into Universe 2008. I think it's not like Classics was literally we threw this together. As like, and Classics, by the way, I'm using sort of as a catch-all. Because I forgot the details about this side of things internally. But it's not so much like, oh, we threw together this little line to kill some time while we make the movie toys. But it's like that line, when we were being shown that in 05, it's because it had been being worked on, I believe, in 04, probably, if not earlier. So, like, it, that was still the 2-year, at least, turnaround timeline on Transformers toys. So, it's somewhere in between. I want to quickly check something, because I want to see if I have a redirect target or not. I have a redirect target, I think. That's an hour and a bit, surely. Surely, though. Oh, no, no. Okay, if Emma is still streaming, I'm going to try to redirect to Emma, because I think we're hitting my ceiling here. Almost as if they were classics. Tugging the neck a little bit. I'm so adamant to make redirects a normalized thing, even though, like, obviously I can't if nobody's there. Aha! Here we go. Redirect us to whatever box the Collectors Club forums go into. No, then you'll all be gone forever in the void! You'll... But yeah, I'm gonna close things up here. Don't forget to... Oh, you're right! You're right! Well, no, but damn it! It's April 29! Did I get a reply to that email? Because Cotton Tangela ceases to work tomorrow. I think. Did I not check my email at all yesterday? I didn't. Is there RE anything in here? All right, I don't think I have confirmation on the May coupon code yet. So what so I don't have it confirmed yet. Okay, Cotton Tangibles work. Yeah, so I'll just put in here. You want to use that this month, or as long as it works at least. Let me go over here. And what's going on? Here we go. There's the code. Thank you for reminding me. So May the Vangelus was last year. So this year, I was looking at what else we do in May. So if they accept it, the code's going to be Mother Vangelus. But I'm not sure yet if it has been like approved or not. So far, we've never had a problem with it. But I always say like, are we good with this one? And I don't want to go like, oh, we're doing this one until they say so, because who knows? I don't know what goes into making a coupon code work with a website. But yeah, I thought Mother Vangelus was pretty cool because it kind of sounds like a cuss word. But also it made me think of that video game way back. I forgot what it was called, but it was that first-person fist brawler game with the really weird aesthetics, and like you were escaping from a found family controlled by this entity called Father Mother. Not Mother's Vangelus. No, it's Mother Vangelus. I'm establishing a new character in my canon. Did you let your Mother Vangelus know she's your coupon code? Not yet. That's going to be a surprise. Xenoclash! That's the one. Thank you, Jipe. Yeah, I forgot the name. I know they also made like a second one, I think. I don't know how that went. But I played Xenoclash a billion years ago when it was new. I mostly remember Father Mother, and I remember there's a guy with a slingshot, and when you're fighting him, if you like just linger too long, he has this voice line where he just goes, "Gonna shoot ya." And then he shoots a pellet at you. And I was like, what a creepy thing to say to somebody. Like, I'm gonna shoot ya. And like maintaining eye contact. But. Now that I've done all the things I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna go over here and click this. I'm gonna click this. That's gonna be too loud. Solved. Thank you all for checking out the stream, by the way. Thanks for making the news dive such a legitimately incredibly fun thing to do. It's always a good time, and I'm so pleasantly surprised by that. Because, as with many things, I thought it was a neat idea, but I was also like, I could see a version of this where nobody gives a crap at all. And the opposite seems to have happened, at least in my perspective, that like folks are having a good time digging through old internet and having a blast with that stuff. Aaron's saying to eat your vegetables and drink your Ovaltine. You know, if you gotta partake a little bit with the Ovaltine, then I guess you go for it. Rock Nerd Radio, it's good to see you. Good luck on the deep dives. Hope you're enjoying Geets. Yeah, I'm having a good time with Geets. I won't say where I am yet, so just don't spoiler me. But having contained 8-episode chapters seems to really work for a television show. I like it. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow most probably, unless something horrible happens, with some gaming in order to try to raise at least $70 for sick kids. I still need to fill in some more milestones on my Extra Life page. I will reveal the Optimus Megatron monologue readings. Instead of just being at every $50 and making it really hard for me to hover my mouse over that bar, I'm going to take a page from Aaron's recommendations. I'm going to make that a purchasable. It's not going to be $50 because I'm too chicken to make things expensive, but I'm going to make it a thing that is purchasable with donations, much like that soft not a cameo thing I had last time. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. I don't know when, but probably early evening-ish. Anyway, I'll catch you all later, and stay safe out there. I demand your survival.
Let them come.